radio station. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Dave Graca just now wiped down that microphone as if Rick had just wiped the microphone all over his body for the last 4 hours.
Is this where he sits?
Yes.
I don't even know who sits
So it
where.
doesn't matter who it is.
Options. No.
We've touched on this. A germaphobe would be strong.
Yeah, I mean,
but you've got some germ concerns.
Look, you don't know what people do, where they've been, But I'm going to
listen. If they're doing what I'm doing, I would absolutely be spending hours wiping that down.
Let's be real. You're quite the cougher. You like to hack away during the show.
I don't like to.
I love you to death,
happened.
but it happens, and it's very out there. And
I don't mean for it to be.
Yeah, but it's all good.
No,
like I
it's
said,
not.
I take precaution. I don't know what's happening before I get in the studio, so I'm just checking the
as
box.
I said, if people are at all like me, I don't know how you don't have a hazmat suit in here. I really don't. It's Bart and Carlin.
That'd be great.
On ESPN
Surgical
New York.
mask,
On ESPN New York, on the YouTube as well at 800-919-3776. Bart is unavoidably detained today, so Dan Graca is in his spot, and we certainly appreciate that. And
when you say detained, it implies like law enforcement.
No, that's not what I meant.
Airport security.
No, that's certainly not what I meant.
The border, something like that.
No, I'm thinking of. I'm just imagining Bart having trouble getting back in from Britain now.
That's what I mean. 'Cause
Yeah.
like I said, I know that he was overseas, so I thought that he was detained, at customs or something.
No, when I say unavoidably detained, I was thinking more of Caddyshack with Bill Murray, and he says at one point, "I was unavoidably detained."
He was detained.
Yeah. At any rate, I woke up this morning and I'm thinking, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of a bad football season for two teams, but there is a ray of sunshine, a little bit. It's peeking through.
A dart of sunshine.
Yes, so to speak. But then very quickly a cloud came over that little dart of sunshine. Nothing has happened. But Dan, I hate the feeling, an anticipatory feeling of something happening. And that's what I have right now with Jaxson Dart. I'm trying to get through the thought process that we're not going to get an entire season from Jaxson Dart, or at least the rest of this season, to truly evaluate where it is, and that will extinguish any sort of light on the Giants season because, frankly, and I hate to be thinking this way, I'm just afraid he can't stay on the field.
And that would be more detrimental for them as opposed to him playing every game and then winning just 4 games.
Right.
Like, let's say that were to happen. I'm not saying it will, but you need him to play as much as possible. Where they are right now, it's not about 2025. It's about you hope 2026 and beyond. You want him to get as much game experience as possible because you want to go into next year saying, this guy, he's got enough experience. This guy knows what he's doing out there. He's not going to be a liability. And that's what we took our lumps last year for. If you win some games along the way, great, right? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which they've already proven that they're capable of doing. So you're right. He's got to go out there, and I've said it countless times, even before this last week's game. Like, I just worry about this guy walking off the field on his own.
I don't understand how you can be this player, and this has continually been a problem for him since back in college. Now, Dave will love this. I played this yesterday, but it kind of illustrates the point. And I'll admittedly tell you, I was not aware that this has been a problem as long as it has. But this was from Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession digital show. Mm-hmm. He had Bob Papa on earlier this week on Monday, and they were talking about Jaxson Dart and the concern about him taking so much contact.
Well, they have told him, and Lane Kiffin told him, and Charlie Weiss Jr. told him. And this was a problem at Ole Miss, where he got taken out of a couple of games because of that kind of style of playing. And you could tell a guy all you want, but when the game starts and he's out there running and he's thinking he's going to make somebody miss, or he sees a defender coming, like, he's not thinking about what you talked about before the game. He's not thinking about what you talked about during the week. We don't want him to learn the lesson the hard way. And he has to really figure out a way to temper things and find out, when is it I got to have it play, and when is it that let's just live for the next play? And that's on him.
Yeah, I get that. And the extra 2 yards making it a 3rd and 4 as opposed to a 3rd and 6 isn't going to be worth it. But can you coach this out of him? Because I immediately start thinking of players. Jaxson Dart is not the size of Ben Roethlisberger or quarterbacks like that.
Cam Newton.
He's certainly not that. And Cam Newton had more than his share of problems avoiding getting hit. And then Cam Newton wouldn't get flags either later on. So if you're Dart at this point and your body is not that size and you are playing in this league, you cannot allow yourself to become the next Robert Griffin III, where you get a lot of development in that first year, but you get hurt, and the next thing you know, your career is pretty much over because you can never be the same player you were.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the last thing you want, and you're going to have to find ways to protect yourself. And look, there's only so much a team or a coach or a scheme is going to be able to do to ensure that would happen for a player. A player has to go out there and kind of be aware of his own surroundings on the football field. Like, I understand in 2025 in the NFL, the rules are tailored to protecting quarterbacks, right? But still, once you elude the pocket and you are out there as a quote-unquote ball carrier, you're fair game. You're fair game, and you know that there are defenders that all they see is a guy with a football, and they come at you like a heat-seeking missile to either jar the ball loose, bring the guy down, and if you're collateral damage, you really think they care? No. They hit you in the head inadvertently, perhaps even. And see, that's the danger of it, too. Like, we were talking about it before the show. The gripe that a lot of defensive players have is that, quarterbacks are, mostly quarterbacks, when they go into their slides, right, to protect themselves. But if a player is getting ready to launch a defender to try to bring him down, and then he goes into the slide, and then you hit him up high, you get flagged for something because you don't know as a defensive player when a guy is going to begin his descent, if you will. And that's what makes it dangerous. Because the lower you go as a quarterback, your chances of getting hit in the head from an oncoming defender intensify, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why, you could protect yourself. You could do all the things that they coach you to do. But when you play a physical sport like football, sometimes it's just inevitable that you're going to be on the wrong end of a hit.
So right now, when I see it, you can do things to decrease the chances of it happening. So, I mean, do you feel like I'm being overly sensitive to it right now when we've already seen him go into the tent a few times?
How can you be?
Yeah.
Like you said, he's played how many games this year? 3 of them he's been in the blue tent.
Right.
And it's not because they have a snack bar in the blue tent, right?
Or if they did, I'd go in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
You have a snack during the game?
They're going to have those cheap Little League type prices in there too?
Like
dollar hamburgers?
The folks on Saturday Night Live, if they're looking for a bit, just make sure you give me credit, guys, because now we got the stream and everything. They should do a skit to where, it's a football game. Somebody goes into the blue tent, and then it's almost like a new world in that blue tent. It's like a social lounge or something. You have people in one corner, this, that, because, nobody knows what's going on in this blue tent. You walk in the blue tent, it magically transforms into something else.
So if you were given a writing credit on this skit, would you think that this skit would make the cut?
It would make the show.
It would make the show.
Absolutely.
Would it be?
Have you watched the show lately? It'll make the show.
Would it be before update?
I would hope so. Yeah. No, it's a pre-update. No, I think it's a pre-update. Football's popular.
It is popular. But,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I think it's a pre-update.
I think you're optimistic.
I'll say beginning of the 12 o'clock hour.
All right, so write pre-musical guest. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, because it's musical guest update.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Maroney.
Yeah, that's a good point. maybe right after post update. How about that?
Okay, again.
Still early enough.
Yeah, early enough where I think we could get some credit. But listen, if you're like me, and you like me and you're not watching it until the next day anyway.
Right.
So maybe that doesn't matter.
Who watches live TV now anyhow? Right? You watch it at your own leisure.
Is there anything that you have besides sports that is any sort of appointment TV?
Sports.
That's it.
Sports.
That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing else.
I don't think you watch. I mean, if you want to turn in and watch the news, like the nightly news, and see the weather or something like that, or
Why
what's
would I
happening.
do that?
But that's not something you're DVRing. I'm DVRing the news. I'm going to watch it tomorrow, right? Because it's all. You might as well get a newspaper.
That sounds like something my Aunt Billy would do.
Do you have an Aunt Billy?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, she's dead now.
What was her given name? It wasn't Billy.
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was a pain in the ass.
So she was Aunt Billy, not Aunt Willie.
No, she was Aunt Billy.
Wow.
Yeah. She was.
Why was she a pain in the ass?
I had 2 aunts.
Taskmaster?
No, just a real, Olympic level complainer.
Real? Oh, complainer.
Oh, yeah.
A nagger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1 year, Christmas Eve, slipped my brother's house in Frederick, Maryland. Slipped out the door without any of us realizing that she had left for the night, and she had like a couple in her that we had been kind of monitoring. Hey, maybe we don't let her drive home tonight.
Some libations.
Drive back to the hotel tonight. She did, and naturally got into an accident. Now, she was fine. She hit a telephone pole that was a good 10 feet off of the road, and was, when we got the call from the local police department to come over and help her out, she was yelling at the police officer about how poorly designed that particular traffic intersection was and how that telephone pole, which again was at least a good 10 feet off the street, had no business being there.
Like we use the term in sports a lot, moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
Like, so she was advocating for almost like the telephone pole was moved.
Yes.
Like to where it was so inconvenient that it should not have been there, even though she was the one that brought it upon herself because of the, and then which is what you're not supposed to do.
Another time, and I don't care, folks, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Another time, I just decided before our wedding, we got married in the city, I'm not going to give her a damn thing to complain about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send her a car service.
Okay.
Send her a car service over. She lived over in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Marine Avenue. Send her a car service. 5 minutes before the ceremony starts, comes running, and I mean running. She had a bad hip, sprinting into this place. Taps me on the shoulder and says, they sent an SUV. I can't get in an SUV.
But she got in the SUV.
Yes.
Because she made it.
Yes.
But then she comes running in, bad hip and all, like Kirk Gibson, rounding the bases, which, by the way, I think was 37 years ago today.
Is that true?
Yeah, how about that?
Still the greatest thing I've ever watched on television live.
I remember it live, too.
Yeah.
I saw it live.
Yeah.
My friend Steve Sachs was the on-deck hitter, ironically enough.
Is that true?
True.
Okay.
But no, so SUV, complaining about the SUV.
Yeah.
Most people would like the SUV.
Yeah, this is 5 minutes before my ceremony started.
It's funny because, okay, so she's at the ceremony. She got there.
Uh-huh.
You did her the solid of giving her the car service, and yet she's going to pick that time, 5 minutes before kickoff, to complain about the vehicle that brought her there.
Turned around to my brother Bill.
Yeah.
Take care of this. And I walked away.
What did Bill do?
I don't know to this day. I didn't hear another complaint.
Well, the only reason is because you said that she's no longer with us. That's why I just wanted to make sure that Bill didn't take it a little too far.
That wasn't it, but I'm sure that Bill made it be known that the complaints were not going to be tolerated that particular night.
Hey, Billy, let me tell you something right now. We're having a nice day. We're having a nice ceremony. You're going to keep your mouth shut, bad hip and all. You're going to go enjoy the cocktail hour. You're going to sit down. You're going to raise a glass. You're going to dance to a few tunes, and then when the night's over, you're going to get back into that SUV, back to Brooklyn, and we're not going to hear another word from you. You got me? Capiche? Something like that, I'm sure, is how it transpired.
Something like that. I had two aunts that lived together. They were like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. The only difference was only one of them smoked, and that was Billy.
So it was like the Golden Girls, but half.
Yeah, and not nearly as funny. Absolutely not.
Oh, boy.
I would have rather had B. Arthur for an aunt.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, as I said, listen, here's what you're finding out about me if you didn't know it already. I have a dark sense of humor, and when it comes to my family in particular, whatever. They're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
It
Anyway.
happened.
What were we talking about?
Giants.
Jaxson Dart?
Giants.
How did I tie Jaxson Dart into Aunt Billy? I don't know.
Well, because she had a bad hip.
Right.
She had a bad hip, and you don't want Jaxson Dart.
I was
to
never
have a
worried
bad
about
hip.
Aunt Billy ever getting hurt.
No.
I'm a lot more worried about Jaxson Dart ever getting hurt than
Although
her.
the telephone pole was like a linebacker to her on Christmas Eve, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But she lived to tell about it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And I think the thing, it's funny because the Giants, you had the great win Thursday night. Right, everybody was brimming. They were bubbling. Giants, Jaxson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, everything. You get into the weekend. You kick your. That's the beauty of winning Thursday night, right? Because you have a free weekend as a fan. You kick your feet up. You enjoy life. You enjoy football. You know that your team's already got one in your pocket.
You're watching Red Zone all day.
You're watching Red Zone. Sunday, the Jets have their debacle in London, and then that becomes a talking point. They're dominating the back pages. And the Giants, meantime, hey, they're still riding off of that win. But now we're at Wednesday, and now you turn the proverbial page, and you got to get ready for the next opponent. And ironically enough, it's that same Bronco team that made Justin Fields look overmatched in London. And so that's why with this test, as each one shows up for Jaxson Dart, okay, you know that there's going to be bumps in the road. The Saints were a bump in the road a couple of weeks ago with 5 consecutive turnovers. Now you're going up against a legit top-flight, top-notch defense, and that's why this is another exam for a young player to see just how far his learning curve has gotten to.
Now, granted, Justin Fields helped them out a bit this past week. By a bit, I mean a lot. They've got 30 sacks already. I mean, Nick Bonito's got 8, I think, to lead the league.
They had 21 before that game.
I know.
But you're right.
I know.
You're right.
I know. But listen, they had 63 last year.
No,
This is
good.
still a team that gets to the quarterback
and
puts a lot of pressure on, so it's going to be very interesting to watch. And in the grander scheme, like this is all we have right now to hold on to. And for the organization, this is what they have. Because, Dan, I'm still of the opinion that we can be as high on him right now as we are. Daniel Jones threw for 5 touchdowns against Washington his rookie year, and we all thought the problem was solved, and that was it. This is still a remarkably big evaluation period for the rest of this season, and they need every single game of it. Not only Brian Daboll to save his job, but the Giants to really figure out what they're going to be doing.
1,000%.
Because if they end up at 4 wins, they're ending up in a top 8, 7, 6 pick, and they have to figure it out again. And I am of the opinion that when they look at Dart, they might feel really good about where he is and all that, but I don't think you've invested so much in him that it's a lock that you're not picking a quarterback next year.
I mean, that's a bit much that I'm willing to entertain right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Now things could go off the tracks over the next couple of months. You hope not as a fan. But, like, take this Denver game, for example. Like, hands down, like, not even close. This is going to be the best defense that Jaxson Dart has seen, or maybe the best defense he's going to see all year. On the road, tough place to play. You know, a well-coached football team. This will tell us a lot. However, if he goes out there Sunday, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if he has a Justin Fields-esque performance on Sunday, I'm not sitting there giving up or pressing the panic button that maybe this guy's not equipped, because we talked about Eli Manning his rookie year. He had, I mean, Eli Manning played a game against Baltimore that was worse than maybe even what we saw from Justin Fields on Sunday and looked as overmatched as you've ever seen a quarterback on the NFL level. What I would do if I was the Giants in terms of, you know, how you're going to attack this defense, we know that they got a top-flight corner, a guy who was the reigning defensive player of the year, and Patrick Surtain. You don't have Malik Neighbors. We'll see about Darius Slayton. This might be a game where you are going to have to dial some things up to get Jaxson Dart out of the pocket, making plays with his legs, despite the fact we're sitting here talking about you want to make sure he stays healthy. Because that's not what the Jets did, unfortunately. They didn't allow Justin Fields to utilize his athleticism and make plays with his legs when you knew that there was nothing to be had in the passing game.
Well, when you have a team that's aggressive, it's logical that you would try to counteract that by taking advantage of the legs of the quarterback. When they're sending blitzes as they do, and you're not doing anything with that, you're dead in the water.
Yep.
Like, why wouldn't you have some design quarterback draws this week? Of course you would. And I'm screaming and yelling about this. I don't sit here and say, if Dart goes out and plays poorly this week, oh, God, then we got to move on. What I am saying is that the entire rest of this season really does. That's the only thing that I'm looking at, because if Dart plays well, is it logical to say the Giants end up winning 5 or 6 games?
No, it's very realistic.
Right.
Very realistic.
So it's logical to say that.
Because the problem is, and we keep coming back to it, like you want to feel all this euphoria as a fan, but it's almost like you take one glance at the schedule and you're brought back to reality a little bit.
Right. But for me, I'm still caught in between on Dart only plays okay.
Yeah.
Does that save Daboll, and therefore does that save Shane? Is there an entirely new regime coming in, and then they decide, you know what, we've got the 5th pick, we do want to take our own guy, and we do want to move on from that. It's not going to be as bad as Josh Rosen, don't get me wrong, but I do think we need to realize that this was the 25th pick as opposed to the 4th pick in the draft.
How much is also the decision going to be complicated by, a couple of days ago we talked to Field Yates, and I know it's only the middle of October. A lot has to happen between now and March, right? But right now the quarterback crop for 26 is not all it's cracked up to be, or at least we thought. If you're sitting there choosing, if Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore are the two big names or the two best quarterback prospects in this draft, you know what? If I've got a guy who already has upwards of maybe 10, 12 NFL games of experience and has shown you the ability to win games at this level, I'm going to still try to work with him, even if I am a new staff, compared to some guy that's one giant unknown from the college ranks.
What I'm worried about right now, I keep going back to the comment a couple of years ago from John Mara about ruining Daniel Jones. And we've done everything we can to ruin this guy. And I firmly believe that when he kept Schoen and Daboll this year, it was because I don't want to be that organization that keeps doing this every couple of years. I want to try to let this play out a little bit more. So does Dart play well enough? They still only win 4 games where he actually saves Daboll's job. And is that a good thing? Like there are so many different aspects of this that are kind of frustrating to me. I want to be able to evaluate it, and I want to get – this is my biggest fear. I'm not going to get the clearest picture of being able to make a full-on good decision at the end of the year about the future of my organization, and thus I find myself stuck in the middle again.
Because I know you don't want to hear this, or fans don't want to hear this. It can't be about wins. Can't be.
No, but I think naturally...
Because it was never supposed to be about that this year for the Giants.
Right, but I think naturally one would lead to the other.
Sure, but if you are somebody that is... And ultimately, John Mara's the guy making the final call, right? He runs the show. And I know that he's got other pressing things on his plate right now, like his health, and we wish him all the best, obviously. But he knows. He's there every day. He's in the offices. He's behind the scenes. He sees this program on a level that fans, media, everybody can only think of grasping, right? It's not just about what happens on the field. That's going to go into his decision as to whether or not he thinks this thing is headed in the right direction, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what. I just thought of something as well. You tell me if maybe I'm overthinking this. People crucified mostly Schoen last year, for the way that he handled the offseason. Saquon, Xavier McKinney, now you have Daniel Jones. Saquon had a season for the ages last year, right? I mean, it was MVP level. They win a Super Bowl, everything. The fact that Saquon is not Superman this year, and he's averaging, I don't know how many people have followed, he's averaging about only 50 yards a game rushing.
Mm-hmm. I think he's under 4 yards a carry, isn't he?
Do you look at the decision to let him walk, maybe without as much venom and malice, and want to kill Schoen because he had the season for the ages, but what if now that deal is not going to age well necessarily? And this is the Saquon you're going to get, let's say, for the remainder of that contract.
And don't also forget that they actually very quietly sweetened the pot for him a little bit this offseason.
Correct.
They gave him a little bit of an extension.
Which they should have, because he had a season for all time. Right.
I'm not there on that yet, because that seems to me to be a team that just loves and lives in drama. So let's wait and see what that looks like.
Now, what also doesn't help matters is, I think, Daniel Jones. Because then that's the bigger problem. Then it falls more on the head coach.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was the quarterback whisperer. And I know he got him to play good football his first year when they made the playoffs and they won a playoff game. But Daniel freaking Jones, and maybe that's the environment he needs to be in. Indianapolis, Indiana, where there's nowhere near as much scrutiny as you're going to get here. And it's the perfect scenario for him right now, but he's playing at a freaking MVP level.
He's got more to work with there, certainly, but
he's got a healthy Jonathan Taylor for one.
Yep,
which could change by the time our show is over.
And I think those receivers are underrated, and I think they're working Warren in a lot. I'm not making excuses for him.
Jonathan Taylor, Rutgers decommit.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah. Saquon, Rutgers decommit.
I've interviewed Saquon 3 times. I've brought it up to him every time.
You should.
Why?
You should.
Why? Thank you. At any rate, thanks. I completely lost my train of thought here. You just brought
Daniel Jones.
Point being is this. He was their guy because even though they may not have drafted him, they made the decision to pay him. They gave him $80 million, which in some ways is a lot worse. So this is why, I need the clearest of pictures possible when I am really trying to figure out this coach and this GM. And I'm just afraid I'm not going to get that. I'm really afraid I'm not going to
The
get
one way you are going to possibly get close to that at least is if the quarterback plays the rest of the season.
Yes, that's it.
And then I think you'll have an answer one way or the other definitively, yay or nay.
So here's the question for you. Bart Carlin on ESPN New York. Dan Graca in for Bart today. 800-919-3776. How closely tied? Is there actually a scenario where you feel like the job of the head coach and the GM should be saved by Jaxson Dart? Considering, if we're considering the GM, how poor some of these drafts have been, other than last year. And considering the head coach where he topped out with Daniel Jones at 15 touchdowns and 5 picks.
Or, I'll throw another one into the mix, are you a proponent of splitting them up? Which I'm not.
Yeah.
That usually does not work out well. To me, they're a package deal, if you know what I'm saying.
Lines are open at 800-919-3776. Plus, did you have aunts that you really couldn't stand? That just drove you nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you're really not that disappointed they're gone.
Or who complained about transportation to a wedding.
Like, there were so many different things that she pulled over the years. Oh, my God. She got away
But the
with
transportation thing is, that's like, if you're going to complain at a wedding, like maybe you complain about the food. Complain about the band or the DJ.
I invited some friends to Thanksgiving one year because...
Now, would you call it a Friendsgiving, or is this like actual
No, this was
Thanksgiving?
my family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And my friends were not traveling home to California because she was pregnant.
Gotcha.
Could not get on the plane. They came over and were greeted by my Aunt Billy outside my mom's house smoking a Carlton 120. Who are you? That was how they were greeted. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's not Steve Carlton we're talking about.
No.
Not Lefty.
No. Never smoked Carltons yourself?
No, I stayed away.
Virginia Slims, maybe?
Isn't that a tennis tournament?
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, 800-919-3776.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is the Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
If you're heading toward the Lincoln Tunnel from New Jersey, you got a broken out vehicle on 495 that's going eastbound side over by Kennedy Boulevard before you get to the toll plaza. And going outbound to New Jersey at the George Washington Bridge, broken out tractor trailer under the apartments, upper level, very slow all around from the Deegan and the Cross Bronx. Sunnyside Boulevard, ramp to the eastbound LIE in Queens, partially blocked with a crash on the shoulder. Inbound Gowanus BQE combo, slow from around the Prospect up toward the Brooklyn Bridge. And on Route 189 in Linden, New Jersey, it's a crash down by Wood Avenue. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has all the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats right at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy teams synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. Mike Tannenbaum joins us in his normal spot 10 minutes from now. Let us get Joe and Elizabeth in to start. We'll get the comments in on the YouTube chat as well. Joe, what's going on, Big Cat?
Hey, good morning, Dan and Carlin. I just have a question, and I want to talk about the Giants. So I was listening to WFan yesterday in a segment, and they're talking about receiving options that the Giants could go out into the market for to help Jaxson Dart. Because, honestly, from Malik Neighbors, there's such a massive drop-off from him to the other receivers on the receiving core. And Jalen Hyatt, he looked good. He looked good last Sunday, but flashes of his Biletnikoff capabilities, but that's not going to be the best options we have going forward. So I just want to get your thoughts on what the Giants should and could do regarding their receiving core.
I would say they shouldn't do a damn thing. And that's not because they don't need help to try to evaluate Dart. I think it hurts a lot to not have Malik Neighbors, obviously. But what we can't forget is if you're talking about going out and adding a receiver now, you have already given up your second-round pick next year to get Dart.
Yeah.
So why are you going to go give up more assets now? Because the guys who are going to be available are mostly going to be guys who are free agents at the end of this year or at the end of next year. So why would I give up a fourth-round pick? Like, I'm really going to hamstring myself for this coming year? I don't know if I'm going to do that.
If you could go get somebody, let's say, for a 5, I mean, that's not the end of the world.
But all right, so what are we talking about then? Are we talking about somebody that's truly going to help me evaluate the quarterback even more?
It's somebody, if I'm bringing in somebody, I don't want him to, in a perfect world, be a rental. I'd love for him to maybe have some contractual obligation for 26 that I know is going to be around, and somebody that I think hopefully can grow with this quarterback.
Is that a Chris Olave? Like, we were talking about that in relation to the Jets earlier. I believe Olave has his fifth-year option next year at like $15 million, but he's also had a ton of concussion issues. So is that kind of player where you're going to be able to get him for a fourth or a fifth-round pick, but then...
That would scare me.
Yeah.
You say concussion issues, that scares me.
I agree.
If it's a dating app and, like turn-offs or whatever, concussion issues, like for a football player, that would probably be a no-go.
You're swiping right.
Is that what it is when you say no?
I think it's swipe
right?
left for yes, swipe right for no.
Tom,
or maybe it's the other way around.
Is it a left for yes?
Tom,
right
you're on the
no?
apps.
Right?
Tom, you date all up and down the eastern seaboard.
Tom can't keep them off.
That is not true right now. Thank you, though, for implying that.
What, the swipe left or right thing, or you're not dating up and down the apps?
No, the up and down the apps thing right now.
Isn't it swipe left if you like them?
Swipe left, negative. Swipe right.
I apologize.
You're good.
Oh, so swipe right is what you want.
Yes.
Right.
All
so
right,
anyway,
then swiping left on that.
Yeah, if it's a football player with concussion issues, I think you swipe left. Right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to now it's got me considering if the apps at the time when I was in my 20s would have changed my dating fortunes in my 20s at all, or it just made it infinitely worse.
If they had apps.
If they had apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had appetizers, but not.
The appetizers are clearly what work against me. Would the apps actually help me or hurt me? I don't know.
You're on death row, electric chair.
Yeah.
They say you can have one app before we
one appetizer?
Turn the voltage on.
I need. Is it going to be fresh?
To your
they didn't,
liking.
Put it this way: they didn't call out to order it, and it came in on Uber Eats.
How about this?
Here's why: because I'm probably going to go mozzarella sticks, but I can't have those being rubbery.
No, the app, like they're at a 10. The way you would want them. Hell, you could even have the frozen selection right out of your freezer. You put them in the oven, you get them fresh. Those are fantastic. So yeah, cooked to perfection.
Either mozzarella sticks or potato skins.
Okay.
Yeah, either.
Can't go wrong.
You? Don't cut me with spinach and artichoke.
No, come on.
I know some people. I don't know.
You know, when it's right, a nice boneless wing. Like boneless.
Really,
tenders.
You're a boneless wing guy.
Take the fork.
You are touching the third rail right now, my friend, with the boneless wings.
Yeah, a little boneless.
There is a lot. There's a lot of people of the belief that is nothing more than a chicken nugget.
It is. Well, it might be, but you know what? It's damn tasty. You ever have a nice taquito? Ooh,
I love the way you said it.
Taquito. You like
taquito?
Taquito. Those are very good. Can't go wrong with the taquitos.
I love taquitos.
You know what's very good too? And we're going off on a tangent, but like you said, it's Wednesday, so I'm going to classify everything with it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
A lot of places now springing up on the starters or the appetizers portion of the menu. The cheesesteak egg roll. Delicious.
I dig it.
Oh.
So good.
Oh.
So good.
Oh.
I'll tell you what that is. It's a go-to. That's what that is. Cheesesteak egg roll, and you get a little chipotle aioli with that. Oh.
Sweet chili sauce, maybe.
Ooh, look at you.
There you go.
Look at you. I'll tell you what. Day by day, you and I growing closer.
We're swiping right on that one.
Subi, Midtown. Hi, Subi. We were a little rude to you the other day. We were a little rude to you the other day.
Good. It's all right. I'm actually on a horse trail in Morristown right now, not in Midtown.
Why wouldn't you be? Today. Anyway, what's going on?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you guys are going to have Mike T on. Aaron Glenn's relationship with the media has been really poor. Do you think that's room for improvement? Because I saw a Dan Campbell interview with NBC, and it was an excellent, interview on Sunday night. And I think Aaron Glenn has to improve it, or he can get out of town, because this is not fair what he's doing to the media, condescending attitude all the time.
I would not term it.
Time.
I would not say that. I would not say it's been really poor either. I think that's stretching.
Okay. And do the Jets fan expect better from Aaron Glenn and his relationship with the media?
Subi, I
Because
got
Jets
news
fans
for
get
you.
tired of it too.
Subi, I got news for you, okay? If you're a true fan of whatever team it is, why should you care at all how your coach or whatever is with the media? You should care about, are they winning games or are they not winning games? Isn't that the most important thing?
Yeah.
Right? You think Patriot fans cared for 20 years that Bill Belichick mumbled 2 words to the media, but yet had how many Vince Lombardi trophies? Right? If you're winning, it don't matter. When you lose and then you look to pile on, you look for all these other things that you don't like about the current situation, then the media thing is going to be called to the forefront.
Well, where does that work against you the most? When you have a situation where you're losing and you haven't been easy with the media, and maybe some members of the media, as a result, are not giving you the benefit of the doubt and maybe saying some more things that would be construed as negative as opposed to positive.
Fair game. It's
That's
fair
it.
game, right? But here's the other thing, and I know the most recent example is, of course, the exchange on Sunday. Look, it might sound like I'm trying to make an excuse, but we all share one commonality, is that we're all human beings, right?
Yeah.
We all have this thing called emotion, okay? That's 10 minutes after a game that they prepared for all week. They put, countless hours of the day in trying to win a game. They flew across a freaking body of large water to go play that game. They thought for upwards of maybe 55 minutes on the clock, they had a chance of winning that game. To then they didn't win the game. Emotions are raw. You're disappointed. You're angry. And just, when you're disappointed and angry in any part of your life, whether you're sitting in traffic or what, there's like this thing called road rage. Just the tiniest thing that might needle you and can set off a volcano. Now, I get it. It comes with the territory. You're getting paid a lot of money to be the face of a franchise, to address the media, to be the only one that speaks, the one that speaks first after a game. Maybe you conduct yourself a little better, but, dude, you're human, and you had a brutal loss that the whole world was watching because it was the only game being played in the NFL at that point. I would be a little probably ornery as well. I mean, Chris, I'll be honest. There's games, okay, where over all the years that I've been doing the Jets, where I have to sit there and compose myself with how they turned out. Because I know that I'm right there, especially we're at the stadium in the club where, you're on a stage and people are actually looking at you in addition to hearing my voice that are listening on the radio, to where you got to keep it together. But you want to sit there and go, I can't, but that comes with the job.
Yeah. Straighten it out.
But we are human.
I mean, speak for yourself. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
You ever have a nice taquito?
Honey, this is it. Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Good to see it, Carl.
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot? It all happened so fast.
Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you.
Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Mike Tannenbaum Report is brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. You know what's so nice is last week I'm out and I had I'd lost my voice. Get a text from Mike last Wednesday. Hope you're feeling better.
He missed you.
That was really nice of you, Mike, to do that.
Well, just try to be a good teammate and proud to be your teammate, and that's what we should do. Check in on one another.
See, Mike is an excellent teammate. You know where Mike is an excellent teammate, too? If you want to go to the blackjack table with Mike, we can have some fun there, too.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to get into all of it.
Is that accurate, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, Mike is a very good teammate at the blackjack table. Very good teammate. Very good teammate.
I was just along for the ride to watch Mr. Carlin work his magic. I mean, Chris is a multi-faceted, multi-talented person that can bring his talents to a lot of different mediums.
So he's like the wingman. You were just the wingman, Mike. Is that what it was?
Well, no, I would term Mike. I would term you more of the enabler than the wingman.
The enabler. Okay. Adding fuel to the fire.
I think that's probably fair. Anyway, Mike, let's talk some football. Justin Fields the other day with the Jets. Do we have our answer for moving forward into the future as far as what their possibilities are going to be at quarterback?
Yeah, look, that was obviously a step back by any metrics, but I don't know if you guys saw what Drew Brees said yesterday. I thought it was somewhat enlightening about, 50 career starts to evaluate. And the challenge in today's environment is, nobody has the bandwidth or sort of the patience to go for 50 games. But obviously that was a step back. Developing a quarterback at the NFL level is very difficult. We're seeing that in Tennessee, where Cam Ward was beyond reproach the first pick of the draft, and they've already fired their head coach. How about this, guys? The last 4 first-pick overall quarterbacks all had their head coach fired in the first year, which is just remarkable when you talk about the state of the quarterback in the NFL.
Well, it kind of leads into I don't normally like to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because it leads into the Jaxson Dart discussion as to what the Giants then do now, because you were a big proponent of him playing early in the year. Mike, how do you balance out what they're going to do in the future with the coach versus what you see from Dart the rest of the way this year?
Yeah, look, you always have to do what you think is in the long-term best interest of the franchise. I just felt like Jaxson Dart was a guy that you could play from day one because of his athleticism, his moxie. And I think that sequence that Russell Wilson had against the Chiefs sort of was what I was concerned about, which you just didn't have a chance to win the game. And, just to take it behind the scenes, guys, one of the aspects that fans and media don't understand when you're running a team, be it a head coach or a GM, is how much the players keep you in check and balance. And what I mean by that is, the veteran players know, and you go back and watch the last couple of weeks for the Giant defensive players, they're playing with more energy because they know they have a chance to win the game. So that, to me, is job number one. And then, as it relates to the head coach, GM, I think those decisions kind of sort themselves out when you have a long body of work and say, is this team going in the right direction?
And, Mike, think about it. If you go by the Aaron Glenn logic about when to replace a quarterback, Russell Wilson might still be the Giant quarterback if Aaron Glenn was coaching them.
Look, context is everything, Dan. I think it's different factors for, each team.
Mike Tannenbaum is with us, of course, former Jets and Dolphins executive. And if you haven't seen the 33rd team, for those who haven't seen it, and Mike's had this site up for a few years now, and it is tremendous in terms of league evaluation and taking you inside some of the things that you might not normally think of that go into the league. It's the 33rdteam.com. Mike, when I am looking at Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, and you're a GM, and I know you're not thinking in the ways of trying to keep your job, because when you take your eye off the ball of the best for the organization, you're in trouble. But how much do you think, from an owner's perspective, the quarterback can simply wash away some of the missteps before?
Yeah, it's totally fair. Again, one guy can really change the trajectory of things. But again, I think you have a long body of work. And I think when you think about John Mara and the Tisch family, I think they'll be honest and sober and take the long view of, here's where the franchise is, here's where we want to go. And I think, continuity has been important to them, and I would think that would be the way they would lean. I was hoping and assuming that, the Giants win their fair share of games coming down the stretch here.
Mike, the schedule is brutal for the Giants still. I mean, we can't disregard that. But do you think, with the way the season has gone and the fact that Jaxson Dart has, breathed some new life into this football team, do you think the proverbial goalposts have moved for what the Giants could accomplish this season?
Yeah, possibly. Can you get into the top 7? Possibly. And, the thing about the schedule, Dan, for me, and again, I've been very proactive about this. People were like, well, hey, maybe, he shouldn't play against the Chargers and wait against the Saints. It's the NFL. Everybody has good players, and it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And, there's injuries all over the place. So I thought they made a big mistake by not playing him from day one. And, ironically, that may cost them from ultimately, possibly getting in. The other thing that's interesting to me is, do they go out and try to get a receiver before the trade deadline? And if the three of us were having this conversation a month ago, the last thing we would be talking about is, should they add a player? But I think that's a conversation they should be having.
Mike Tannenbaum is with us. Mike, you look around the league right now, and I don't know what to make of it. Now, I'm an aggressive gambler. That's just the way I think. Now, but if I were to try to figure out exactly who I was going to pick for the Super Bowl right now, I don't know who I would to face off against one another. So right now, in your mind, who are the two teams that are most likely to get to the Super Bowl right now?
Yeah, it's such a great question. Well, I'm going to go on air here in a few more minutes and say the Chiefs in the AFC. And the reason why, guys, is this is the time of year you say to yourself, like, who has the ability to get better and why? And Rashee Rice, to me, is a reason they could get better. And then on the NFC, my gosh, like, it's one of 4 or 5 teams. I'll say Detroit, but I'd say Detroit firmly etched in pencil. I mean, you can make an argument for the Eagles, Commanders, Seattle, Tampa Bay. So that's what makes our sport so fun and interesting is there's literally 6 teams on the NFC that you can all make, a really, really good argument to say that like, this is their year.
Mike Tannenbaum joining us here on ESPN New York. How aggressive, if things continue along the same path as they've been thus far, how aggressive do you think the Jets should be leading up to the trade deadline in terms of being sellers, Mike?
Yeah, look, I think it's something you obviously have to consider now, Dan. I think part of that, though, is the juxtaposition of, like, is player X or Y, in the plans for 2026? So if they're not, then obviously that's something, that would be a factor, who's in the last year of their deal, and then what would that get you in return? So, I think you got to, at this point, obviously, given their start, you got to consider it. But I would also be looking very closely at, what does 2026 look like?
Mike, great stuff. We'll talk next week as usual.
All right, and I'm glad that you were able to get back today in full strength, and hopefully we could string a couple of good weeks together for you there, Chris.
You still speak like an exec. That's great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Never leaves you.
Yeah, Mike Tannenbaum.
Thanks, Mike.
ESPN NFL Front Office Insider. The Mike Tannenbaum Report brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. For a pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com today. And Mike is not a big gambler, but when I was at the draft, we went to the blackjack table for a few minutes in Detroit with Ian Fitzsimmons, and Mike was just a guy who would be in your ear like, go ahead, you should double down there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is the blackjack table, you said?
Yeah.
Not when you were on like 20.
No, he's not that guy. We've all had that guy.
He's not Dan Campbell.
Ray Lucas almost killed a man at a blackjack table over that.
Oh.
Guy who was doubling down on 12.
Oh, my gosh.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5 S Select for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S0595731. MSRP $31,915. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. Dan Graca is in for Bart today. Sideline to sideline, we've got football covered in just a little while with things going on around the league. I truly, from a parity standpoint, I do not know what to make of this right now. This is something that I wanted to get into yesterday. We didn't really get a chance to. But who do you honestly have the most faith in right now in of anybody to get to the Super Bowl?
Well, didn't we talk about this on Friday, right? Like in the NFC in particular, this was after the Giants-Eagles game. You know, who's the team to beat? And I think the consensus then was the Lions. And then what do the Lions do? They go out there and lose on Sunday, right? So I guarantee you that in 2 weeks' time when we have this discussion, there's going to be a different answer to the question. And that's what makes the NFL great in a way. Like you said, you know, the parity sells. And that's what keeps people coming back for more and more and more. And like we were talking off the air. Like, look at a team that, like New England, for example. Okay? New England right now is sitting there technically in first place in the AFC East. Their schedule is laughable the rest of the season. Like, laughable. To where, as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they'll end up with anywhere from 10 to 12 wins, which might even win them a division.
That's staggering.
Right? And who would have thought that at the beginning? Who would have thought that even just a couple of weeks ago? Before that Buffalo game where nobody gave them a chance to win.
Listen, they are better. There's no getting around that. And I asked this question to Bart yesterday. I'll ask it to you. Just, is there a possibility that Drake May comes out of that whole thing as the best quarterback in that draft? I mean, I guess there's a possibility, but I don't know what to make of it. And
not insane.
No. But I look at what the Bills have to deal with, and this is not it's not a murderous schedule, but it's not a schedule that I would sit there and tell you is as easy as what New England has. But that's it. I mean, it's a great point, Dan, that you can be New England, you can go and win 10, 11, 12 games this year, and I would still argue that maybe they're not even that good. But they're just better than a lot of not-so-great teams.
I mean, look at Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta at home, at Tampa, Jets, at Bengals, still probably no Burrow, Giants at home, then you get the Bills at home, at Baltimore. Who knows what Baltimore's going to look like by December 21st, and then Jets-Dolphins to close the season.
I love schedule talk. I think it's great.
But schedule talk
I do. I'm not joking. I do.
No, but obviously now it's worth doing schedule talk when we know about these teams.
No, I'm not. I promise I'm not being facetious because I do look at that and I think, God, this team should run away with the division if it's a schedule like that.
Well, that's and the beauty of it is it changes, obviously, the complexion from when you have those infantile discussions in the summertime before we even know what these teams are, before injuries can wreck a season. Like, I'll give you an example. Right now, and you could save this as the hot take, as the whatever, and I could be wrong. On this day, 15th of October in the year of our Lord, 2025, I am not throwing dirt on the Baltimore Ravens despite the fact they're 1-5. I am not.
I can understand that.
I don't think they may not win the division, but that is a team because after they get back from the bye, Lamar Jackson returns, Roquan Smith returns. Little by little, they get healthier. That is a team that will find enough ways to get back into the mix, and they will be in there in December in the wild card category, and you could already see it lining up that they are going to be that proverbial team, Chris, that you don't want to play if they get in.
Oh, I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying?
As they're getting healthier, I would not rule them out winning that division. When everybody else stinks, and Pittsburgh's 4-1, but that's not a strong 4-1.
No.
Not at all. But I would also look at this from a Baltimore standpoint of I'm going to get all of my guys back defensively. I do think it's somewhat laughable that we are talking about John Harbaugh's job being all of a sudden on the line when you've had as many injuries as they have had this year. But I don't rule them out at all, and I think you're 100% right for not throwing dirt on them. But I can throw dirt on plenty of other teams, and I would comfortably do it on some teams that are still very much in the mix.
Right, because you think and look, we've seen it a lot with teams in this town. You play good football for the first 2.5 months of the season, but then it's down the stretch is where you fade in the month of December. And that's going to happen with one of these teams right now that's off to a great start and everybody thinks is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, for whatever reason, an injury or something, and then they're going to play themselves out of the mix. And then you have a team right now that's just lying in the weeds, or maybe they look like, you should pull the plug on them. And they're going to play inspired football in the second half of the year. So, like I said, that's why this league is so popular, and the interest level is at an all-time high because you're never really out of it unless you're,
Is it a good thing to not have somebody to shoot for? Nobody is looking at the Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
Nobody is looking at the Philadelphia Eagles right now and saying we have to knock them off the mountain. Nobody says that right now.
No.
Nobody says that about the Chiefs right now because so many people have declared them dead. And obviously they're not dead. They are starting to get healthier, and it would be silly to say that. But right now, if I gave you a choice of a team to bet on to make the Super Bowl out of the AFC, who is it? Are you still taking the Chiefs?
AFC?
AFC. Everything we've seen. Buffalo, last 2 weeks, they've been bad. They were bad the other night. Kansas City has started to come back a little bit, but they obviously started poorly. Denver started the year 1-2. Do you buy into them?
You think Bo Nick's going to go on the road and win a big playoff game thrown for 142 yards?
This is what I'm asking.
No.
With what that defense is? I don't know.
And you know what the funny part about this whole thing is? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right now, if the playoffs started today, Kansas City's not even in the playoffs. Right? They're on the outside looking in, I think.
Kansas City right now.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
They're on the outside. Yeah, because
correct.
there's 7 teams that are 4-2 and better.
They're 8th right now. Yep.
So think about that. That's all you need to know. Is that the team that most people would agree is the team to beat on the AFC side is not even a playoff team.
I'm going to give you the betting favorites right now on ESPN Bet.
To go to the Super Bowl?
To go to the Super Bowl from the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Who would you assume are the favorites right now? And I'll just give you a hint that they're both tied with the same odds.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
And not Buffalo, is it?
It is.
I mean, can you show some originality?
They're both at plus 300.
Because wasn't that probably the odds at the begining of the year, too?
Yeah.
Have you watched the games? Are we paying attention? Not you, but...
No, I completely agree. Then so they're both they're 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Denver, the Colts, the Chargers all at 8-1.
I'm so disappointed in the Chargers.
I picked Denver at the beginning of the year. I'm disappointed in the Chargers, but I also recognize
they're hurt.
Who they've lost.
Yeah, they're hurt, and just
the fact that you're not. Would you do this?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're not ready to throw dirt on the Ravens, 11-1 right now to go to the Super Bowl.
That tells you a lot.
Would you jump on that?
I would jump with 2 feet, and I'd borrow somebody else's 2 feet as well with 4 feet. Because look, they're gonna if they get in, watch out. If they get in, watch out. I know that their journey is going to be difficult. They're going to go on the road, right? They're going to have to go on the road every step of the way. Watch out.
Pittsburgh is in the 2 seed right now at 4-1. They are 13-1 to go to the playoffs.
To the playoffs. Super Bowl.
To the Super Bowl.
So
13 to 1
Baltimore's got better odds than the Steelers.
Yep. Jacksonville.
Can we see what the 41-year-old quarterback is going to look like in December, too? After a year of taking hits and the weather gets bad, right?
I would be a lot more – people who are talking about listen, I think the Jets would have won a couple of games if they had kept Rodgers. I know what all of the pitfalls were, and I was in no way was an advocate. I felt like they should have kept him this year, but I understand why they didn't.
Well, think about it. Okay, for those that are in that camp, and look, I know that this was a hot-button issue throughout the summer. What would it have gotten you? Like you said, you would have won a couple of more games, and you would still need a quarterback next year because he wasn't going to be the guy, and instead you'd be picking 11th or 12th as opposed to, now maybe 1, 2, or 3.
It's fair. It's very fair. Jacksonville at 16 to 1 to go to the Super Bowl. They are the sixth. They are 4-2. It's 16 to 1. Anyway, the point is,
Jacksonville kind of lost me a little bit this past Sunday. I know it was a short week, but you were home. You were home for both games. The emotional high that you were riding after the Kansas City win on Monday night. You got a Seattle team flying diagonally across the country to play a 1 o'clock kickoff game, a West Coast team, and you let them come in and beat you.
I'll give you in the NFC. To me, from a betting standpoint, it's even more interesting. But in the NFC, like at the beginning of the year, I'll just tell you, I picked Tampa Bay, Denver to go to the Super Bowl.
Really?
I think I did. It's either Tampa Bay or Green Bay. Maybe it was Green Bay.
Mine was Baltimore, Green Bay.
I definitely had Tampa Bay go. I had Tampa Bay going to the championship game.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, right now in the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the number 1 seed, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Why can't the Jets ever get a coach like Todd Bowles?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
God.
Plus 750 to go to the Super Bowl.
Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I'd jump on that. 7.5 to 1 to just go to the Super Bowl.
Are there still any detractors of Baker Mayfield at this point?
I don't know how there can be.
Like, what more do you need to see? Okay, he hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet. I get it. But, like, tell me, like, what you're
I had the
seeing.
Ravens. I thought I had Denver.
Officially here, you had Packers-Ravens winning it.
That's what I had.
I just make it up all along as we go. Then fine.
That would have been a bold choice, like to really go all in on Denver to go.
I
to
thought
the
I
Super
had
Bowl.
Denver going to the Super Bowl. My bad. And I had the Ravens winning it. There you go.
So Tampa Bay.
I must have been influenced by Bart that day.
Tampa Bay plus 750 to go to the Super Bowl.
I could just change my opinions every day like Coward. It's easy enough to do.
Are they number 1? That's not number
Tampa
1
Bay
in the NFC? No.
Tampa Bay is currently 5th, tied for 4th with the Rams. Green Bay plus 350, Lions plus 425, Eagles plus 550, Rams and Buccaneers plus 750.
I got a question. I mean, here's another thing. Whenever you get into one of these like Super Bowl discussions, another conversation to have is take however many teams you want and then zero in on each one of their home field advantages and who's got the best / toughest home field advantage to where in January, if you've got to pick them off in the playoffs, good luck.
So, right now in the NFC?
All right, let's start with Tampa Bay because they're sitting there as the 1 seed. Is it hard to go into Tampa Bay in January and win a football game? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
Lambeau Field?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been done.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, when Rodgers was there all those years, it's been done. But let's put it this way. There are other places you could probably want to go in January than Lambeau Field when it's, 11 degrees and you can't feel your appendages.
Philadelphia is pretty hard.
Same thing. Philadelphia. Like San Francisco, I don't think is impossible.
Nope.
Seattle used to be, but not anymore.
And that's only because of how the stadium is shaped.
Right. But and the football team isn't as good.
Can you go to Detroit and win? I think you probably can.
Since Detroit has gone back to the playoffs, nobody has gone into Washington did last year. Forgot.
Yes. That game was in Detroit.
Yeah, because they had the first round bye. So they played on that Saturday night.
Yep.
So Detroit, you could win there.
You can easily win against the Rams.
You might have more of your fans than Ram fans.
Yes, very easily will. Atlanta? No. Atlanta's not even in right now, but still. Anyway,
Atlanta's
here's
probably
the
not
point.
going to get a home game.
But here's the point. You've got so many of these teams that I cannot genuinely tell you with great confidence about even who's going to be in the championship games, let alone the Super Bowl at this point.
It's the beauty of it.
And I know it's good for the league. I do always like for there to be a villain, though. And so when the villain early in the year looks like they are starting to fall off a little bit, it disappoints me. Now, people talk about they're playing with their food or whatever, whether it's the Eagles. And yeah, maybe the Eagles do need some drama and some stupid drama at some point along the way. I think the thing I would say about that is every time that they have that pop up, they have always had really good veterans to kind of step in and take control of that. Brandon Graham and Jason Kelce aren't in the locker room anymore.
No, but do you think that I'm not willing to put the Eagles in the conversation that maybe a lot of people thought about the Dodgers this year, that they're bored with the regular season.
Yeah.
Just get me to the playoffs, and then you'll see the real deal, which you're seeing now with the Dodgers, obviously. In baseball's 162. It's endless. Just get to the finish line. I don't think you can make that same claim in football. You can't.
No, but I do think the Eagles need some level of drama.
Some incentive, some prodding, if you will.
Or just something to upset the apple cart a little bit. Keep everybody on edge. I think they need that. Look, there are teams that have needed that before.
You know what they got to do? Probably, I think they're going to make a trade. Shake it up a little bit.
Oh, they absolutely would.
Shake it up.
Yeah.
No, but I think that would benefit them, as a matter of fact. Even if it's like addition by subtraction. If you want to move on from A.J. Brown, you're not going to get anything maybe as equal in value if it's like a mano-a-mano thing. But just to shake up the mix.
But here's the thing. Here's what Howie Roseman will not do. I don't believe that they will trade away a player during the season. I think they will only add a player during the season. In other words, if you're trading away A.J. Brown, are you getting back somebody that's going to help you right now?
You might even get just draft capital.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that.
That's right, but it could be like addition by subtraction. Because obviously it's becoming somewhat divisive.
It is, because he wants the ball as much as he does.
The passive-aggressive stuff with social media, you don't need that stuff.
Is there anything that's worse in communication with just friends, people, than passive-aggressive? I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I want direct.
So no beating around the bush.
No beating around the bush.
You don't like the bush.
No.
You don't like Bush.
How you doing? How long did you go to school for that one?
You want to do those AFC teams with home field advantage? Boy, Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Field in January. That roof's going to be closed, kids.
To me, that feels like a natural transition to Ira in Staten Island. Hello, Ira.
Hey, how are you, gentlemen?
Good, Ira.
Yeah, nothing. And I think you're right about. I think Baltimore's going to come back to the pack. They'll be healthy just in time for that Jet game the end of November. But
hey, Ira, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong off the top of my head. Since Baltimore came back into the NFL, so that was, 95 or whatever is the Ravens? Or 90, 95, yeah. Jets have never won in Baltimore, correct?
In the new stadium in Baltimore, never. I've been to every game. They've never won that.
And most of them aren't even close.
Most of them are blowouts. As a matter of fact, the one in 011, I think Mangold,
the Sunday night game.
The Sunday night game, Sanchez took a beating, and I think that's where Sanchez lost his confidence in his career.
That was, what was that? What was his name? Wesley Johnson as the center, the guy that filled in? Oh, my goodness.
Plays. And I think David Harris had an interception TD for a return, and I think we also got a McKnight kickoff return.
Yes.
And it still was just ugly.
And I remember, and I brought up to Chris when we were doing the show the other day, remember the week after in 2005 when Pennington and Fiedler got hurt, Brooks Bollinger had his first career start in Baltimore against that defense. He looked like he literally wanted to run off the field and hide under the bench.
Yeah, but you know what happened in that game? They crept back into. No, I think it was Kellen Clemens, maybe. Or
I think he might have replaced him.
Yeah, but
no,
maybe it was years later. But Coles dropped a TD pass, and they ended up losing that game because Coles dropped the ball, which he very rarely did. But two things I want to throw out real quickly here. Let's see, if they happen to lose to Carolina, which I don't know how they're going to win because if you take away garbage time points, without Wilson, with Wilson, they're averaging about 12 or 13 points a game. I don't know how they're going to score this weekend. But, when the GM talks, if he's going to talk or Glenn's going to talk, because I'm not even sure who's running the organization, they owe it to the fans. And I know people are getting testy with the media. I've talked about it, that I question some of his media remarks. But that's the only way the fans connect with the organization and the message that they send you. And I know, be patient, and, we're going to be like the Lions, and 3 years from now we're going to turn it around. But they got to give some answers.
That one would bug me. I don't want to hear about the Lions anymore, about that now, because this was not sold at the beginning as a rebuild.
Nope.
Not in the least.
And not only that, and Ira, thanks for the phone call, go look at that Lions roster that year when they took over versus this Jets roster. Because remember, all we heard, and I think we all felt this too, after last season and the way it all fell apart with the coaching change, and you had Jeff Ulbrich, who wasn't ready to do both, run the defense, be the head coach, and it was kind of, Aaron Rodgers was coaching the offense and blah, blah, blah. There was talent there. Eliminate the mistakes, coach them up. This team can win some games. You have talent on this team.
Yeah.
Weren't supposed to be 0-6.
No.
Not supposed to be the worst team in the league.
And I know you can try to change the narrative when things are not going well. And I know all about, I nearly fell out of my chair a couple weeks ago when I heard him say chop wood. I knew where that was coming from.
Yeah.
And I also heard him talk about, what is it, turning around the ship?
Big ships turn slow.
Yeah. I get it. And I'm
Is that like it means like a carnival cruise or something like that?
I've heard that phrase a lot.
Yeah.
I guess it takes a while for a ship to turn around. So I've been.
You ever been on a cruise?
No,
me neither.
Not a cruise guy in the least.
I could not imagine being confined to like a ship with a bunch of people I don't know for that amount of time.
Interesting that you mentioned that. At least it's interesting to me, and that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
My brother just told me, my brother and his wife, he's retired, going on a trip to New Zealand, taking a 3-week cruise back. And I'm like, and he has never taken a cruise in his life. So that is like going 0 to 150 in 4 seconds. You're going to go on a cruise for 3 weeks when you've never done it once in your life? Holy cow.
Why?
I don't know.
What prompted him to do this? Like you said.
Well,
what if he has a freak out moment? Like he's on the boat for 2 hours and he's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to get off. And well, buddy, you got 3 more weeks.
I don't know. That's where I head to the casino on board and just lose everything I have because I got to do something to get through it.
Now, that flight from New Zealand feels probably like 3 weeks, but it's not 3 weeks.
No.
The cruise is.
I was trying to imagine, what do you think it was like to be on a flight with Peter for 22 hours to Perth, Australia for Crown Jewel last week? What do you think that was like? Like, what do you think he is like to travel with?
Like sitting right next to him or just like being on the same plane?
Like no, right next to him. You have to sit and take in all 22 hours of Peter for...
I would hope that like just a normal human being would still sleep the majority of the 22 hours.
Or at least try to. Yes.
I
you
think
can't be up the entire time.
Yeah, you can't.
No, absolutely not.
Unless you're on a narcotic, you're going to... Just human condition, you're going to go to sleep.
I would think so. But...
On the flight to Hawaii that I took way back when. And that
was it direct straight there?
It was freaking from Charlotte, so it was like 12 hours straight.
Okay, but no stops.
No stops. No, that was and I must have fallen asleep, I would say 3 or 4 different times during that.
For
trip.
how long each?
I would say at least maybe an hour each time.
That's pretty good.
I cannot sleep. I don't know how the hell I did. I mean, because I was just like exhausted beyond belief when I got on the plane. So
yeah. I don't know. I always try, whenever I think about those kinds of flights or a 3-week cruise, I think about the personalities that are involved.
Yeah.
And I could see my brother very quickly thinking, what the hell did we just do?
And it's not the Love Boat.
No, it's not.
You're not going to get like, all that type of entertainment.
I did tell him he should go spend some time in the Pirates Cove with Isaac. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Isaac is still doing pretty well for himself.
How have they not? They rebooted everything.
Didn't they try to?
They did with Fantasy Island.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm getting it confused with.
They did not with the Love Boat. How do you not reboot?
But when they reboot,
what the hell is Fred Grandy doing?
But when they did the reboot for Fantasy Island, they didn't have like a the plane guy, right?
No, Hervé Villachez has passed away.
No, but they didn't try to recast the character, like to have somebody who would be.
Here's my question: if you remember,
Mm-hmm.
and boy, I couldn't sound older.
What was
when I'm
his?
saying this.
Not to detract. What was Hervé Villechaize like? What was his? What was he like? His origin?
What do you mean? Like what nationality?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Stand by.
I have no idea.
I'm sitting here with a computer.
Hervé Villechaize, it suggested he might have been something.
Oh, I never would have guessed this. Take a guess.
Is it from a Hispanic country?
No.
What?
French.
Hervé Villechaize is French.
He was born in Paris. He's a French actor. He's the last thing I
should have thought of that, like Hervé Lamazana.
St. Patrick's.
Yes. I should have thought of that.
Only we would know that.
Yeah. No, but point being, why would you never reboot The Love Boat?
Hervé Villechaize, by the way, married twice.
Did he quit the show? Was there a contract dispute with him where he didn't get paid off? Because if you remember what I was going to say, is the guy who played Mr. Belvedere actually took over for Hervé Villechaize.
I did not know that.
Oh, he absolutely did. Yes. I believe he played Mr. Rourke's right-hand man, and then I don't know if Hervé Villechaize passed away in the middle of that show being made or if there was a contract dispute.
No, Villechaize didn't pass, because Fantasy Island, it says, was from 77 to 83, and Villechaize, it says, was in 130 episodes and 2 TV films. So I don't think that...
I didn't think it was all the way back in 77.
How about, let's play this game? Because you like to play the game. We played it before the show about how much does he earn, how much
did that guy
make? How
make?
about this one? How tall Hervé Villechaize?
Hervé Villechaize was...
Let me give you an over. You want an over-under?
Sure.
Okay. Over-under 4'2".
I think he was shorter than that.
Tom?
I think he was 3'10", something like that.
Well, seeing my good friend Hervé for the first time on the internet just now, I'm going to say under.
Ray? Hervé Villechaize under 4'2", over?
Under, Bob.
Correct answer is, you all are correct, 3'11".
3'11".
3'11".
I loved him on that show. I always wanted one of those little cars that had like the little canopy. It was like a golf cart.
But isn't that shocking, though? Never would have guessed French.
No. I should have. Hervé.
See, like, if you learn anything with the purpose of waking up each morning, that's what you learned today. That's what I learned today, that he was French.
But now I have to know what the contract dispute was that led him to leave the show.
I will find it for you.
That's what I have to know. Google AI. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you
Honey, this is it.
Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Did you see it, Carl?
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot?
It all happened so fast. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers. Transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles. Rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
This is the theme song?
That's the other thing we miss from TV nowadays. No more like these opulent like openings and cast and credits and yeah.
So just to sew up the hole on Hervé Villachez.
Yes.
Please enlighten us. You looked it up.
I looked it up. So apparently he proved to be difficult on set. Okay? Proved to be difficult where, according to this is Wikipedia, of course, and they're never wrong. He continually propositioned women and quarreled with the producers. And
it's
remember,
Wikipedia,
that show,
so let's say allegedly for the
and that show had a lot of guest stars. You know what I'm saying?
Every week.
So,
it was like it was whoever wasn't on Love Boat that week was on that.
Whoever got off the boat was on Fantasy Island. And he was eventually fired, and you hit this one out of the park for demanding a salary on par with Ricardo Montalban, who was the lead
I
in
didn't
the
hit
show.
that out of the park. Anthony Fusilli Fooch from MSG texted me and said he wanted Montalban money.
He wanted Montalban money, and who wouldn't? And then Montalban was the villain in the first Naked Gun. And
the Wrath of Khan. He was Khan,
That's true.
too. Yeah.
And then and you said for the final season, which I didn't know, he was replaced by Christopher Hewitt, who was Mr. Belvedere.
And bang! Right there. Right there.
They had some shows back then, man. Like kids today, you don't know what you were missing.
I mean, Bob Uecker starred in a sitcom for many years.
Bob Uecker, and I meant yes, while still doing baseball games. They tried to work around the baseball schedule as much as possible, but they still couldn't. I mean, baseball's 6 months out of the year.
I'm not going to try to tell the story because he just tells it so much better. But if you have a minute, Google Norm Macdonald, Bob Uecker, Mr. Belvedere.
Yes.
It's so good. He's got like 3 or 4 Bob Uecker stories that are just so good.
Well, Norm's stories about anybody are just
the best. The best.
Was that the Bob Uecker with John Fogerty?
Yes, there was that.
He's a rock and roll singer. Yeah, he'll sing you some, and I'm leaving out a lot of...
Come up here in the 7th inning, he'll sing you a song.
Yeah, I'm leaving out some, adjectives there, too. Yeah, he'll sing you something.
Let's go sideline to sideline.
It's going to happen.
This is Sideline to Sideline. Go. With Bart and Carlin.
All right. Let's get to it. Tom Bauer is here. Tom, please take the floor. Give us some things that we need to delve into. Sideline to sideline.
Oh, sure, boys. So, the NFC East. It's kind of an open race at the moment, you could say. And Jerry Jones still believes that the Cowboys are in it to win it. And I'm reading the... Funny enough, I'm reading the headline on ESPN right now, and it says, the boys are still in it, but he's open to a defensive trade. I wonder if he shouldn't have made one to begin with if he wanted his team to be better.
That's a fair point. Listen, he's talking about the fact that he thinks that they can still get somewhere and open to a defensive trade. You are not going to add a defensive player, the caliber of the one that you traded away, that is instantly going to make a big enough difference on your team. Do you believe the Cowboys are still alive? Like, do you think they still have something in them this season?
Yeah, it's too early to throw dirt on them. But last week, they kind of lost me. You know what I mean? Like, that was a bad loss last week. You know, you look like world beaters up here against the Jets, and then you go down to Carolina, which is a very beatable team, and you let them run all over you. You know, like that was disappointing to me.
At 2-3-1, would you give them a better chance, or would you give the Giants a better chance to actually contend
make playoffs,
in the NFC
contend,
East?
make it interesting?
I'm going to operate under the assumption that only one team from the NFC East makes the playoffs, and that's the team that wins the division.
Wow.
I mean, do you think I'm stretching it with that? Because I think it's a bad division.
I don't think you're stretching it. I haven't given it much thought, so let me think.
Giants, Cowboys, Washington, other than Philly? I don't think if Philly...
I don't think you're wrong.
I don't think if Philly doesn't win the division... If Philly doesn't win the division, that means to me they didn't make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think also look at some of these other divisions. Look at the West.
Yeah.
You got 3 teams that are 4-2 in the West. You know, how serious do you take the Atlanta Falcons? You know, do you? At 3-2, their defense is really, really good. But does that defense translate outdoors, in the cold, late in the season? You know, do you trust Penix enough? Bijan Robinson is fantastic, but the quarterback also is going to have to make some plays here and there. You know, can that happen? You know, what do you make of the North? Everybody in the North has a winning record. You a believer yet in Ben Johnson's Bears? Are you? It was a good win the other night.
I'm not a non-believer, put it that way. I thought the other night was a good win, but I'm not sitting there thinking the Bears are going to just find a way to blow it because they're the Bears.
I honestly, the team also I don't know about is Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because you know what? At this stage of the game, when McCarthy is healthy, do you immediately throw him back in?
It sounds like they are.
Well, I think
I'm surprised by.
Well, you almost have to justify the decisions you've made over the last couple of years. Because let me tell you something. You mean to tell me that in a moment of quiet, you know, in Eden Prairie or wherever their headquarters are, that, you know, Kevin O'Connell late at night is not sitting around eating Chinese takeout at 11:15, you know, thinking about the fact, boy, probably should have kept Sam Darnold. You know, you can tell me that thought has not crossed their mind at least a couple of times?
I don't think yet.
Really?
I don't think yet. Because O'Connell is who he is with these quarterbacks. So I don't think yet.
But here's the thing about McCarthy. I don't care how good of a quarterback whisperer you are. If the dude's never on the damn field, you can't do anything with him. And so far, all I know about J.J. McCarthy, he's been an NFL player for 2 years. He's been hurt both years.
That's a good point.
That's all I know.
Next.
I don't know much.
No.
That's all I know.
But you know a lot. You know a lot, and that's one of the things that you know. Next.
Well, you guys mentioned the Eagles about 2 minutes ago and talking about how, like, maybe they don't make the playoffs if they have a bad record. Well, something that will they will need desperately to seek before the trade deadline is some pass rush, because apparently Zadarius Smith, one of their more productive players, announced his retirement suddenly on social media on Monday. Suddenly, after the Giants game, Zadarius Smith hanging up the cleats mid-season, too.
This is where I think the Eagles will add. This is a vintage spot for Howie Roseman to add a pass rusher by the deadline.
Can somebody refresh my memory? Seriously, like when was the last, like how active has Howie been in season?
All right, listen. Let's talk about 2017 when they went to the Super Bowl. Like they went and got Jay Ajayi,
right,
who was a big help. He has been somewhat active in seasons. I'm going to go look at who they've brought in before.
Because let's face it, I mean, I know it happens maybe a little bit more now than it used to traditionally, but there's just not a lot of trades made in the NFL. In season, you know, like the football trade deadline is not the baseball trade deadline or the NBA trade deadline.
Right.
You know, like you might get a couple, but generally the bigger ones that are made in season happen like weeks before the deadline.
Accurate. Did not make any last year.
Like, what happens if Joe Flacco getting traded is the biggest in-season trade we have in the NFL?
All right, so I'll give you a couple. Here you go, all right? It could be. 2024, in-season, no trades. 2023, Kevin Byard. Went and got him from Tennessee.
Right.
In October.
Okay.
2022, Robert Quinn from the Bears. So their point is, like, he's usually looking. Joe Flacco from the Jets, 2021. He went and got him.
I forgot that.
Like Kerry Vincent. So anyway, point being, I would say Golden Tate they got from Detroit in 2018. So they're looking. They'll add. That's my point. Now is there going to be a Robert Quinn type player that will end up being available in terms of trade deadline with pass rusher skills? I think there could be. Sure.
Robert Quinn was interesting because he had like a real good career. He was a top pass rusher. And then like towards the end of his career, he kind of became a journeyman. Like he just kept bouncing from team to team to team to team. And they all like wanted to dive and dip back into what he once was. Just didn't have that same impact.
It wasn't there.
No, it wasn't there.
But that would strike me as the kind of thing they would do. And it is odd to see him quit. But I could absolutely see that now where somebody like Zadarius Smith just says, I'm done. Yeah, I'm good.
That was peculiar, right? Like at this stage of the season?
It was.
Where he just says, like, I'm done. I'm good. Right?
You ever been in a situation where you're like, I'm good here.
Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And was it in the middle of something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Was it a movie or was it a job or what was it?
Yes.
Okay. Good enough. Next.
Yeah.
So something we unfortunately know all too well of at this point, if you're a Giants or a Jets fan, is that unfortunately this time of year is mock draft season, at least the start of it.
Are we really doing this now? I get mock drafts in the middle of October?
I don't want it to be the case, but unfortunately it is the case because one of our teams just so happens to sit at the top of the list because they happen to be 0-6.
What team is that, Tom?
That would be the New York Jets. Very sad. Jordan Reed, friend of the show, has the Jets taking Fernando Mendoza, number 1 quarterback out of Indiana, for those who are unfamiliar.
Dan Graca, your thoughts?
I was talking to Anthony Pusick during the break. You were here. You were privy to that conversation. Anthony Pusick still bemoaning the fact that the Rangers can't score a goal at home.
But loves the process.
First time in NHL history, by the way, a team has not scored a goal at home in their first 3 games of the season. First 3 home games. That is 180 minutes of hockey. No goals. Anyway, and I said to him, and for anybody that's listening to the show now, if you want the comp for Fernando Mendoza, watch him play. Tell me he does not remind you of Kirk Cousins. That, to me, is what he is. I mean, just the way he is, his delivery, his release, the way he's built. He's Kirk Cousins. Now, I don't know if he's going to have the same type of career as Kirk Cousins, but, and I think you put it, Kirk Cousins a guy you're taking with the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
I mean, Kirk Cousins has had a good enough career where you certainly would justify taking him in the first round.
Oh, first round, yes, but I don't know what the first pick in the draft.
Top 5 pick?
And remember, Kirk Cousins,
probably.
I mean, let's face it, in a league right now where there's several teams looking for quarterbacks, how come Kirk Cousins, nobody could pry him out of Atlanta where he's sitting there holding a clipboard?
I think that has to do with teams not wanting to take on his money. I don't know. That's just me.
But we don't even hear that much, though, about like the being aggressive and the prying and to just inquiring something. Nothing. I mean, he's better. I mean, let me ask you a question. You got a game to win tomorrow for your life. Kirk Cousins or Joe Flacco?
No question.
40-year-old Joe Flacco.
Yeah. No question.
You know, but it's like, I don't know.
You seem flustered.
Little flustered. At least I was thinking about this. At least Kirk Cousins could have, because they played Monday night, right? Access to the Chick-fil-A in the stadium. It was open on Monday.
It was. Yeah, because
it wasn't Sunday.
Because it's not Sunday.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Everybody going to that game like Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
You got it. And those are like cheap prices there too, the concessions.
Oh, they have them like they have them like super cheap prices.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Maybe with like an Abe Lincoln in your wallet, and you go up to the concession stand and you've got 3 items in that little carry-away box, all because of Honest Abe.
That'd be nice.
That ain't happening here, Bob.
No, it's not.
No.
You got a Lincoln in your pocket. You're walking away with a Lincoln in your pocket.
Exactly. It ain't gonna be a food item. I can tell you that.
It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it. Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses. inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Knicks fans, opening night is a bounce pass away. Join ESPN New York's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Be there for special guests, live Knicks talk, and opening night vibes before tip-off. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
You can chime in on the chat over on the YouTube channel where the show is. It is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. You can check it out on ESPN New York's YouTube channel page. Steve checking in. This show blows without Bart. Agreed. I agree. Yeah, turn on the mic.
That's why. That's why. I don't even have the microphone on.
Listen, I agree. And it only improves when I'm gone. So it is what it is.
But Bart will be back tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be off doing other things. So then, who was it? It was Steve, you said?
Yeah, that's Steve Buke.
Okay, well,
rhymes with puke.
Steve, you know what? Set your alarm bright and early tomorrow, and you'll be able to have a lot better of a day. What can I tell you?
Zero Tolerance checking in. Mm-hmm. Do the Giants beat the Broncos this week? Can we?
Yeah, I'll say this.
Listen.
It doesn't matter if the Giants beat the Broncos this week. The Giants have the ultimate win over the Broncos anyway, and you can't take that away from them, right?
What, the
Pasadena?
Super Bowl?
There you go.
Really? Like, does anybody think that? We stuck into those Broncos. Like, they think that way about the Patriots. I don't think they think that way about the Broncos and the Bills.
That was their first Super Bowl championship.
It was.
That one is going to, if you're old enough to remember, that one should stay with you forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, listen, I'm sure that it does, but I don't know. I'm just looking at it from, and I asked this question, I don't know if I asked it yesterday or Monday with you or yesterday with Bart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to find the path to interesting football in the middle of November. And I don't even just mean the quarterback.
Get me to Thanksgiving with a pulse is what you're saying.
Exactly. And so when I look at the rest of the NFC East, is it outlandish to suggest that I might get to Thanksgiving with a pulse? Could I get there with a pulse? I know. The schedule is ridiculous. But I hate to say this. Can we start to throw out the schedule just a little bit when their 2 wins are over the Chargers and over the Eagles? Can we start to throw that out just a little bit?
Be as generous.
And they've lost to the Saints.
5 straight turnovers. Be as generous as possible. Open your mind. Okay? Be as glass half full. Be glass 3/4 full.
All right, let me think. I'm meditating for a second.
Okay.
You're going to give me the next few games?
I'm going to give you up until Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right? At Denver. Mm-hmm. Or how about this? Not even so much win-loss. Can you make a strong, legitimate, believable case that they could win the game? How about put it in those terms? You good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At Denver.
How big of an underdog are they this week?
I could not tell you that.
I did not look at the spread.
Tom, do you have that answer? Giants point spread? He's looking it up. Tom's
got
good
it
with
right
that
here.
stuff.
Last I saw, I think it was 7.5 favoring Denver.
I didn't think the Giants would be favored.
No, I didn't think that. Okay.
Denver allowed -10.
Am I answering these one at a time, or am I just thinking big picture?
It is 7.5. That is confirmed.
All right. I'm having trouble. I do have to go back to great defense, rookie quarterback on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to go back to that.
Okay.
So I will say no.
At Philadelphia.
Yes, because I don't know what they are right now.
Okay. And the revenge factor and all those things,
Right.
which will play in.
It'll play in, sure.
Okay. Home San Francisco.
They're as banged up as can be. So I'm not ruling that out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. I had them a few weeks ago against the Cardinals, and they did not look like world beaters. That was still Mac Jones at the time. But
they had no business beating the Rams on that Thursday night on the road, and they somehow found a way.
And they
right?
did.
And
They
the Rams
did.
are better than the Giants.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
At Chicago, which is now looks a little trickier than maybe it did a month ago.
Here's the problem.
But there's a path.
Yes, there's a path.
Okay.
So far.
Home Packers.
No. Not beating the Packers.
At Detroit.
No.
Okay, so that's 6 until Thanksgiving. How many? And oh, by the way, Thanksgiving weekend, they play Monday night at New England.
Oof.
Yeah, you give me an oof. So how many of those did you think you could win?
That I'd have a chance?
2, 3?
2 or 3.
Okay, I'll give you 3.
So that gets me to 5.
5, and that's 7 games. So that's 3 and 4. That is 5 and 8. Is that where you want to be on Thanksgiving?
It's not where I want to be. I'd like to be at 6 and 7, but I think that's pushing it. So to get there with a pulse is going to be difficult. Here's my other problem, is that when you do stack all these games together, and I have so many of them where I really have to fight to make an argument of even having a chance,
right?
Then you string them together, they're not all going to happen. So,
right. Because unfortunately, like you said, you may sit there and look at it as, okay, you can win. What do you think these other teams? And for example, like if you're playing this game on behalf of one of those other clubs, they're probably saying the same thing about the Giants.
Oh, there's no doubt they're saying that about the Giants.
That's a win. Right?
Yes. They are absolutely saying that about the Giants. No question. Bart and Carlin, Dan Graca in for Bart on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Wednesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Will the Rangers ever score at MSG again?
First of all, let's not make this bigger than it is. It's game 5. Lots to like about our game. It's a unique situation, but let's not blow this out of proportion.
And Booger McFarland joins the show to discuss the New York football QB situation.
You can't be competitive in today's football without being able to throw the ball. And Justin Fields can't throw the ball.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Honey, this is it. Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Good to see it, Carter.
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot? It all happened so fast.
Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM841631, MSRP $26,980, 0 security deposit, and 1031.25.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Fields avoids the sack
so he can't.
I want off the ride. I want off.
We put ourselves in this hole. We're 0-6, but we're going to continue to work and get better.
I can't take it anymore, man.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
You do.
I mean, this is something you're supposed to enjoy and brings me nothing. Zero enjoyment.
I mean, I'm still pissed. I don't like to lose. It's very frustrating. I hate losing, and to not crack 100 yards total is kind of crazy.
Got to keep going. I mean, there's no other option. We have to keep fighting off. We got to keep building on the positive that we've shown.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
More football, but some baseball too. It's Bart Carlin on 880 ESPN, on the ESPN New York app, and over on YouTube. Bart is out today. Dan Graca is in today. You should be watching the show. You should be chiming in on the show. And it's interesting. We have a couple of people bringing up potential trades in the YouTube chat where we will take your comments. One guy saying, Danny, suggesting that the Giants need to go get Adonai Mitchell from the Colts, the young receiver who doesn't seem to have much of a role in their offense right now.
The guy who dropped the ball before going into the end zone, like Malachi Corley and DeMercado.
Was that Adonai Mitchell? Did he do that? He did?
I think it was.
There are a lot of guys who have done it now at this point.
Which is amazing. It still happens.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Listen, that's fine. I wouldn't have an issue with that. He was somebody that was certainly well thought of. But the bigger picture is this. As we actually talk about the two teams at the moment, I was surprised that we had as many people suggest that the Giants should be looking to add before the trade deadline, especially at receiver. I understand the rationale behind it with wanting to help your quarterback grow and evaluate him a little bit more. I think one of the things that we tend to forget about is when you're bringing a new receiver into that mix, unless they are somebody like Devontae Adams, who is highly skilled and highly ingrained into an offense, understood what he was doing when he got here with the offense, ingrained with the quarterback, I should say. It's very difficult to immediately have somebody like that come in and help you to evaluate your quarterback because he's still getting used to being in the offense.
And not only that, how well did it work for you last year, too, despite all those things? Like, if it's not the right situation, like, okay, Devontae Adams put up numbers. I think he almost had 1,000 yards or close to 1,000 yards even in the number of games he played as a Jet, but they didn't win games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to get to a situation that is they got their stuff together.
That would have been like the most ideal situation in theory to make a trade and add somebody to a situation.
Correct.
Where you had the quarterback who already had familiarity with the receiver and it's a high-level player.
100%.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to add somebody, I don't know if that actually helps you with him at the moment. I don't know that it does. Like, there's the suggestion that the Jets should be making a trade and looking to add as opposed to selling off. We'll get to that part in a moment. A guy like Chris Olave, who's a number 2 receiver, but they're going to need that anyway eventually. Like, this is more about, for the Giants, you're losing Malik Neighbors for the year. Wan'Dale Robinson has played very well, I would say, And so you want to add somebody to that just to help evaluate the quarterback? I don't know about that.
No, I think that's a little much. And, then what happens if you go out there and you make the trade, okay? You don't win games. The quarterback's production doesn't necessarily shoot up like you would think. How does that change your outlook on the quarterback then?
I mean, it doesn't – I don't know what I can do right now that's really going to make a huge difference in helping him. Really? I mean, is there anything that I can do that can really help him right now?
I think whatever's going to happen is you grade on a curve to a certain degree if he's going to be missing these top weapons for the remainder of this season.
But I hate that. I hate that. If I'm grading on a curve, like all I keep thinking about with our teams here specifically is, God, it's been a long time. Like the Giants, all right, a couple years ago, but we all knew what that was. We all knew that was a team in the first year of a head coach that the head coach came out, got the most out of what he had. If they thought Daniel Jones was the answer at that point, they knew that they only went halfway in the contract. So it's not like they knew. It was a 15-touchdown, 5-interception season. They knew what that was. So everybody knew that was a come in, get the most out of everybody, but then we're going to maybe have to take a step back after that. I don't look at either team right now and feel good about either situation. So I guess I'm just tired of waiting and tired of thinking about the process and all that crap when the process is all you've had to go through for a long time.
You want to feel no better about the Jet situation for Sunday?
Kick me in the nuts while we're at it.
Aaron Glenn, and this is a wide receiver core which is not imposing even when all is healthy, right? Aaron Glenn said that Garrett Wilson and Josh Reynolds is their number 2 wide receiver, are both out today. They're not going to practice today. He said they will see how the week goes. So you kind of figured you probably weren't going to be without Garrett Wilson this week anyway, but now you throw in their number 2 wide receiver who
is barely a number 2.
Who's barely a number 2.
He's not. I mean, he's a number 2 in name.
Because of this team, he has to be.
Right.
That you could be without both of these guys on Sunday. With a quarterback who just threw for minus 10 net passing yards the previous week.
What's the spread on the game?
Yes.
I may as well.
Well, the Jets began the week favored, and did I see that now Carolina's favored, right, Tom?
Yes, they are 1.5-point favorites, Carolina.
So it flipped.
Why would I bet against Carolina other than the fact that they're 0-3 on the road?
That's like you said.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Rico Dowdle's got a couple of 200-yard games already this year. Is he going to add to it?
I mean, it's been 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if he's going to run the ball that well, but I'm hoping, Dan, that at least I'm starting to see the defense get to where it needs to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing you hold your hat on a little bit.
Well, so are you more of a believer that that's the case and that you just saw more of what the actual reality is, or it was they had a good week against a team that might have been a little sleepy overseas?
Sleepy overseas. I like that.
Yeah.
They've been there for a week.
Little sleepy. That's a Russo thing.
Right.
Little sleepy. Little sleepy.
Chronicling their travel and all those things.
Yes, exactly.
Now they get 1 or 2 movies.
Denver to Philadelphia. Do they go right to London or do they spend a day in Philly? Okay. Maybe they practice over at Temple.
Now, wait, is that 2 hours away from Tottenham? Another London game this week, by the way. I'm going to get excited for that one. That's a Jaguar vehicle.
Of course it is.
That's a Jaguar Ram.
On a separate note, how do you justify building a new stadium when every year you're giving up a home game to go play in London?
Don't they play 2 over there?
Sometimes they have. I don't know if they do this year.
Well, I know they weren't both home games, but even like Minnesota was there for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Who wants this?
Nobody wants this.
Nobody
wants this.
Except the people that are getting money off of it. That's not us, though.
But I guess what I'm really just frustrated by, and it's nothing new, the continued waiting of this and how I'm supposed. All right, it's about evaluation. It's about this. It's about that. It's about the process. Okay, all of this is. I get it. What all that means to me is you're waiting longer and longer and longer. So if I'm looking to trade for somebody right now, I'm not really sure it makes sense for either team. Like if you're the Giants and you're trying to add a receiver to help evaluate the quarterback, like if somebody's suggesting that, I would stop listening to that person. That's just me.
Right. Because at this stage of the look, now it stinks what happened to Malik Neighbors. It does.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he's a fun player to watch. He's obviously their number one weapon. He would help the quarterback out tremendously. Right? I mean, it goes without saying. And the thing that also kind of takes you down a different path, as we said, is that now you're kind of forcing the quarterback to maybe reintroduce some bad habits that you want to see eliminated from his game, i.e. the running with the football. At least as often as he's going to maybe end up doing it, because maybe you're deprived of your weapons in the passing game.
Yeah, I guess what I would say is that when I look around, if I want him to be more involved in the run game, or to be less involved, in the run game, I do need to help him. It's just, I think he's got to develop that instinct without having more receivers right now. I just don't see a need for trading away assets for something that I might be able to draft this year. Like if I could draft, if I truly believed in Dart, if I could either draft what would be another offensive lineman and hopefully get that right, or if I could draft a big-time wide receiver in the first round and pair him with Neighbors, that might be something. I'd be more interested in that than I don't know. You're smiling.
I'm smiling because, like, okay, you're thinking about wheeling and dealing with draft choices. If you're Joe Schoen, does the thought cross your mind?
Yeah.
I might not even be the one making those picks with those selections for the draft next year. F those picks. I might as well go out there and use them to try to make this team better so I can win as many games as possible to keep my job.
You know, I asked that about to Tannenbaum earlier this season, and he'll give you the same answer. I don't know if it might be human nature to think this way, but that if you're a GM and you're thinking about anything but the good of the organization, you're going to get fired anyway.
Right.
You're doing it wrong as it is. You're just trying to save your job.
It's like, let me clean house, let me trade off, let me acquire all these picks, even though I may not be the one to use those draft choices.
Well, but here's the thing. I can't make the case that either team should be in the adding department. Maybe I could slightly make it for the Jets. But then when you start looking at what they should be thinking about trading off, they both have pieces that are interesting. Like if you're the Jets right now, are you definitively thinking about trading off Breece Hall? I think Breece Hall's going to get traded. I absolutely do.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. Even if they win their next, and then there's two more, technically three. There's 3 more weeks.
It's November 4th?
Yeah, so there's 3 more weeks of football before the trade deadline.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen over the next 3 weeks for the Jets that will alter what their forecast is for 2025. Like, they're not going to get back into the playoff race even if they win their next 3. They're not making the playoffs this year. It's over.
Right.
Right? So you're looking at the future. Giants, on the other hand, they could go one of 2 ways. You could steal a couple of these games, get yourself in better position to maybe make a run, or what if you lose the next 3? And then you're sitting there at 2-7, and the playoffs are going to be far-fetched, and you should maybe be thinking about the future to where you're not going to try to add on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I mean, like, I know in a perfect world you love to be able to make some of these trades and to be able to get new guys in here and get them up to speed with your system, but I think there's a reason why the NFL made sure they pushed, and people wanted the trade deadline pushed back to where it was, because you want more time for that information gathering stage.
If you're the Giants, are you trading Kayvon Thibodeau?
What am I doing over the next 3 games?
Again, I don't think it's about Kayvon Thibodeau and the defense anymore with them. I don't expect either team are doing anything real. And what was I trying to build before? A case for an interesting football game at the end of November. I don't know if you remember this or not. I had to remind myself. Season does not end until the first week of January.
Mm-hmm.
Neither team is doing anything this year. We know all of this. So if that's the case, if I can get a second-round pick for a guy like Thibodeau?
No.
Can I get a third?
Maybe. Not a 2.
Don't they have the 5th-year option on him for next year or not?
He was a first-round pick.
He was a first-round pick, but I mean, didn't they pick it up?
Did they or didn't they? Tom, can you check that out? The first round or the 5th round of a 5th-year option?
Kayvon Thibodeau. I believe he's under contract for next year.
Did they pick it up?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Because that would sweeten the pot a little bit if you are looking to.
That's why I'm saying if you can get a second-round pick for him.
But what's the point then of trying to move on if you picked up the option?
Because you're not going to pay him. You're not going to pay him. Yeah, the club picked up the option for next year, 14.7.
Okay, so why don't then we kick this discussion down the road? Let's say 12 months.
Because Thibodeau's going to want to get paid, and he's going to be probably screaming for a trade this offseason anyway.
You're still going to get something for him then, but that's still well.
But I get more for him now. This is all I'm saying. Like, if I know that I'm not paying Thibodeau, and why would I when I have Burns and when I drafted Abdul Carter?
And you're paying Burns a ton.
Yes, and he's delivering.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's 7 sacks already. Why would I possibly not think about that seriously right now? See, I think that's the kind of thing where the Giants could actually really help themselves out, especially after they traded away a second-round pick this past year to move up to get Dart.
Because you want to try to recoup that. But I don't think you're going to be able to with Thibodeau. I really don't think you are. I don't think he's netting you a 2. But if you could take a 3, why not? That's just as good.
Certainly.
Right?
And then you have 2 3s? That's certainly.
Who's throwing a 3 out of the room? Nobody. You'll take that.
Wait, why do you make it sound like it's crackers in bed? You're eating. Who's throwing a 3 out of bed for eating crackers?
Crackers in bed are dangerous. Too clumsy.
Oh, God.
Right? And the thing is,
you know where I run into that? Hotels.
Well, because it's not yours. That's why.
Well, and exactly. It's crackers. Could be chips, too. I am a guy that when I get to a hotel, I am going to that little gift shop right there. Mm-hmm. What is our chip selection? Because I'm going to need a snack prior to dinner.
Now, this is on top of the bed?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of times.
Oh, it's pre-dinner, so you're not going under the covers.
No. I'm not an in-bed eater, if you can believe that, but that's true. But it's an on top of the bed. The couch. There's no couch in the room, or there's an incredibly uncomfortable couch,
which most of them are.
Right, or an incredibly uncomfortable chair. Most of the time, sitting on the bed. And if that's the case, then later that night, next thing you know, I got Cool Ranch Dorito bits everywhere.
That's a good pre-dinner snack.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it almost would spoil the damn dinner. It's so good.
Hits a spot.
It hits a spot.
Yeah.
It's spot worthy.
Top 3 chip?
I don't see how it isn't. I mean, it's superior.
Can you eat a potato chip anymore that's not kettle cooked?
I don't eat them that often, no.
Hardly you don't eat chips, period? Or you?
No, I do. I like a nice chip. Cool Ranch, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what's very underrated, and I know that it serves a purpose for, additional things? You might think this is a little out of bounds. Give me a nice plain Tostito. I could go to town on that bag for,
I don't
a
have
half
a problem
hour.
with that.
The scoops.
See, here's the problem with the scoops. I like the scoops.
Well,
but you take a bite out of the scoop, you could cut the roof of your mouth pretty easy.
Not if you're careful. They are small enough,
if I'm eating chips, I don't want to be careful, Dan. I'm not here for a test.
I have not had a lot of roof-of-mouth injuries with the scoops. I don't think I've had any, as a matter of fact. Very disciplined when it comes to the scoops. You know what else is? It's a big hit around here because we used to eat them a lot when we were doing the Jet games here all those years.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the pita chip?
I am familiar with the pita chip.
I forgot the brand. I forgot it's
just called pita chips, though. Isn't it a black bag?
It's the black bag, but it's the thing about it, though, what is it?
It's in yellow script.
Stacy's.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with Stacy. Stacy likes to have both hands in your pocket these days because Stacy is charging an arm and a leg for the chips.
Really?
Oh, and you're not getting a lot in the bag. It's not a big bag. A lot of air in that bag.
Yeah.
But Stacy still wants you to dig deep in the wallet if you want to enjoy your chips.
How much is a bag of Stacy's chips?
Like just the kind of yay big?
I'm just talking about the normal.
Depending on where you go to the grocery store, now you're talking almost like $6-7.
Oh, come on.
I'm not kidding. I am.
Is
not
this
kidding.
the tariffs? I swear to God, if it's the tariffs.
I don't think the pita chips are imported from Guam or anything.
Do you know
like
that for sure?
I'm pretty confident.
What about that Penguin Island? Don't they make pita chips there? Remember that island with all the penguins?
I don't think
that we're tariffing the hell out of.
I don't think they put the penguins to work when it comes to chips.
All right. Anyway, my point is simply this.
So yeah, those are the 3 that I would probably roll with.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pita chips in your top 3.
They have a lot of variety.
Yeah. Okay.
The Parmesan and garlic, tremendous. Even the naked chip, very delectable.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna I'm not going to question you. I'm going to let that go.
It's. I'll tell you.
I can only fight battles on so many fronts, Dan.
People missing out.
Yeah. Okay. Stacy's pita chips, $7 a bag.
No, it's
are you talking like that's the size of a bag that you would have at home, not a snack bag.
This is like this big, and then they also have the quote unquote party size, which is a little bit bigger, and that thing's running you double digits.
$10?
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding.
How much are you? Who's your agent? How much are you getting paid?
That's why you have to do this in moderation. We used to,
not familiar.
When we were at the old place on West End, and we would have Jet games. RJ would be producing the Jets back then. We would hit up the same deli nearby. You get lunch, toss in a bag of pita chips. You were good to go for the afternoon. Like that would be like the chip of choice. But since then, the price has grown by leaps and bounds. Back then, that was almost like they were giving you Goodwill food. Government cheese, basically, compared to what you're paying now. It's insane.
I will say, the other day, I purchased the Reese's peanut butter cups, just the big cup. It's the 2 cups, but it's the larger size.
I've never
cup.
had those, yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
$4.10.
Where'd you buy this?
7-Eleven type thing.
7-Eleven.
$4.10. I didn't. It's one of those things where I never even looked at what the price was, just thinking, it's $1.59.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah, $4.10.
The 10 is what hurts, because now I got to come up with an extra 10.
Yeah.
Would you pay with a 5?
No, I have.
Do you use the
I'm
card?
mostly card these days.
Do you use card?
They still look at you dirty when you use a card for anything less than $5.
Now, if you have your choice, if you have your druthers, are you eating those bad boys right away, or do they go in the refrigerator for a little bit?
Oh, they're not going in the refrigerator. They're not making it to the fridge. I would love to, but they're not making it.
That's what I'm saying. You had your druthers. You would.
If I had my druthers, yeah.
Okay.
But druthers don't count into it when I need a snack.
No, when you're out and about, you're hungry, yeah.
No, listen, I'd love to see them make it home, but
I'd skew fridge for those. Snickers, I got no problem if I'm doing what you did, cracking it open, right?
See, Snickers I love, and that could make it home.
Really?
Yes. But I would Snickers or Milky Way has to go in the freezer.
Yeah.
I would argue that.
Freezer.
That's right.
Not fridge, freezer.
No, freezer.
Wow.
We're going aggressive.
You ever do the Snickers ice cream? Snickers ice cream bars?
I don't care for it myself.
It's a little
no.
You're fine the way it is with the candy bar. We don't need the ice cream.
No, I miss the nougat. You're taking out nougat and
the nougat is minimized with the ice cream.
You're taking the nougat out and you're giving me vanilla ice cream, and no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Hey, here's Aaron Glenn on injury updates, including on Wilson.
When it comes to the injuries, we have 4 guys that have basically the same designation, which is Garrett, Stiggers, Cam Jones, and Josh Reynolds. All those guys will be out today, right? And there we see how those guys progress during the week. The only guy that actually will be practicing today that was on the injury report is Michael Carter. He's still in protocol, right? But he still has his practice today, but he has to go through the protocol.
So, Garrett, listen, I'm not expecting Garrett Wilson back for at least 2 weeks. Am I wrong to even think that I'm going to see Garrett Wilson in the next 2 weeks? Because, at this point, what is the point on playing Garrett Wilson before the bye? I don't know that there's any point on playing Garrett Wilson before the bye.
No, you got 2 more. In a perfect world, as soon as you heard the stuff after the game that he's got a knee issue, you pray that it would only be a couple of weeks because of the bye.
Yeah.
And then, this is a guy who's never missed a game in his career. Think about that. He's been so lucky that he hasn't missed a game yet. As disappointing as the results have been for this team, he's been out there each and every week. So, yeah, I think, I know we could sit here and snicker and laugh and say, ha-ha. I think a little bit of this is gamesmanship. You don't want Carolina to think that he's out, so you don't have to game plan for him already.
But if you're Carolina, you're looking at this he's not playing.
Anything short of Mr. Miyagi and or Jesus himself is going to ride into one Jets drive this week and magically heal Garrett Wilson. I would be shocked if he's playing Sunday.
I would be absolutely.
And I don't have any inside information, by the way. This is just me.
And then, so the slug on this is.
Yeah, this is the good one.
0-6 record is not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, do I want to bother? Do I want to bother with listening to Aaron Glenn? 0-6 record is not acceptable, or have I heard it already?
You've probably heard it already. It's just a regurgitation.
It's the one that sounds a lot like the 0-5 is not acceptable, or the 0-4 is not acceptable from previous weeks.
Did they just plug it in.
Tom actually just used that same cut and changed the number. That's all.
Every week we're trying to improve. We know exactly where we're at, and we're not accepting being 0-6 at all. So we know from myself as a coach, from the players to go out there and play, we all have to improve, and that's a part of what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I just still, it's hard to fathom that they're 0-6. Like, it's weird that in the NFL in 2025, there's a team that's 0-6.
It's not that hard for me to fathom that. Not about the Jets.
I'm
but
just
that
surprised
there's a team that's 0-6. I actually, before the season, predicted that the Saints would go winless, and I was obviously
I thought they
wrong
were the worst team. See, that's the thing. Like, the Jets right now might have the worst record. I still don't think they're the worst team in the NFL.
I agree.
Saints are worse. Tennessee is worse.
Let me put it another way. You know what the Jets have done? They have played the worst in the NFL.
Correct.
They have done everything possible to earn that 0-6 record. Do they have the talent of an 0-6 team? They do not.
No.
I think it's better than that. They don't have the talent of a 6-0 team, but they don't have a talent of a 3-3 team right now either, because this quarterback continues to be the issue, and you're just not going to have a chance. And it is amazing just how much better everything looks when you actually have a quarterback.
Isn't that something?
It's
Coaches
nuts.
look smarter.
Yep.
Right? Players play better. Covers up a lot. Look, the starting quarterback is the most important human being in the entire building of a football team.
Sure.
The most important individual. If you work up in the business office and you work in marketing, you work in sales, guess what? A lot of your livelihood is attached to the starting quarterback.
Yep.
Because guess what? If he ain't good, team ain't going to be good, team ain't going to win, and then they maybe look to change some things up because the numbers ain't where they are in black and white in terms of trying to make money. That's what I'm saying.
And your job.
And your job hinges on it.
Hinges on it. And before that, becomes infinitely more difficult before it hinges on it.
Bottom line.
Graca in for Bart today. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. Tom, are we going to nozzle? Can we nozzle?
Oh, yeah, we can nozzle.
All right. Then we'll nozzle next.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
All the way over Barzell, score!
New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
What is this? Is this something?
That's a good question.
Well, I looked up and both you and Ray are dancing.
Yeah, I took Ray's lead. I was a follower.
Okay. Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app, where we remind you that Game Time is brought to you by Tully Time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it is game time, it is Tully Time. ALCS Game 3 tonight, Mariners hosting the Blue Jays. Coverage right here on ESPN New York begins at 7:30 p.m. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Have you been here before for an Am I the Nozzle?
Maybe this is my rookie experience. This might be.
You could have a little more enthusiasm for the situation than doing it. I mean, you said that in a somewhat despondent way.
Not a despondent. No, I was racking my brain thinking about it. Try it again.
Apathetic.
Try it again.
Apathetic. Hey, have you been here for the Am I the Nozzle?
No, I don't think I have. Tell me more about this nozzle.
What cartoon did you just sound like?
I don't know. I'm just trying to drum up something there. I'm trying. I'm reaching into the bag of tricks.
There's reach down and there's nothing there. Here's Tom Bauer with Am I the Nozzle?
There are two sides to every story.
Everybody need to keep a cool booty, okay?
We're here to judge.
I plead the fifth.
Am I right?
Adoy.
Or am I the nozzle?
I was wrong.
So this is the point. We present a situation, and we tell you whether or not you are the nozzle in the situation, or if, in fact, you are right in the situation.
For example, Dan having apathy when he was asked about, am I the nozzle? Does that make him the nozzle?
It's nozzly. Yeah, little nozzle. And his lack of interest in this right now.
I don't want to be that guy. I just don't want to be that guy. That's not fair.
Well,
it's like I'm being set up.
I looked over right there, and it was as if Dan was locked in on some Candy Crush.
I don't play Candy Crush, as a matter of fact.
All right, well, it was merely
too many levels, too many, the game never ends.
I don't play.
So I've been told.
I don't play it. Next.
All right.
Let's just start. Let's go and get this over with for Dan's sake.
So you're going to be doing a segment, and you compile all of your stories. And then something happens at the Jets press conference just now with Aaron Glenn, and it just makes me want to do this first and get it out of the way. So, Aaron Glenn with a reporter here. He was asked about Justin Fields and whether or not he should take some chances in it. Here's the phraseology by the reporter, and then the response Aaron Glenn gives to the reporter.
I think you said after the game you'd like to see him give guys a chance. He maybe needs to take a few more chances in terms of it. It's not, the guy's not wide open. Let's try a 50-50 ball. Let's try to give Garrett a chance or Josh a chance.
Here's what I do know is, and you're right, and I've said that, and I still believe that, and I think that's for any quarterback, especially when you have man coverage to give a guy a chance. But I do know if something bad happens, you guys are going to be about him, So the thing is, he just got to go out there and play quarterback and do the best that he can. But I don't come off that at all. When you're in man coverage, you got to give a guy the chance to go catch the ball.
Okay, so here's the thing. Again, it's not anything that a fan is necessarily going to care about. But that was unnecessary. That was nozzly. There was no point for that when the phrasing of the question was 100% fair. Of pointing to something that he said the other day, and not in a jerk way either, but, do you think he needs to take some more chances when a guy is in man-to-man? And he basically said yes, and in the middle of it, but you guys are going to find something to be blanked off about anyway.
That was Brian Costello again.
That was Cos?
That was Cos. What is it? So
does he have a Cos issue?
It might be a Cos issue.
Oh, okay. Listen, we've all been there. If you've been on this side of it, where...
Like cosplay.
Where you can ask a question and you might have ticked somebody off with a question or ticked them off somehow, and you're not going to get the best answer because of who's asking it. Maybe, I don't know if Kaz ticked them off or not.
I don't know, but again, it's like when you're 0-6, it's not going to be a lot of warm and fuzzy questions you're going to get anyways.
But did you think that was an unfair question?
I don't think it was an unfair question.
No,
not at all.
And it's more than fair to suggest that Justin Fields should be just taking a couple of shots with some guys in one-on-one situations to give him a chance to go get it, to make a play. That's all.
You know what? Instead of getting sacked 9 times, I would take a chance on if it's a 1-on-3 situation.
Yeah.
Throw the ball up. Maybe you get a flag. It's the NFL. Refs love throwing laundry on the field. That's what my argument, even last week on that, taking the sack on the final play on 4th down. Just throw the damn ball up near somebody. Maybe the guy gets tackled and you get a pass interference and you get a fresh set. They had a better chance of getting a fresh set of downs on a penalty than they did probably completing a pass.
Yeah.
The way things were going.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. But little nozzly. Next.
All right. No more coach on media nozzle questions. Let's just get right into it with the player drama. Because Tua Tagovailoa, well, apparently the Dolphins aren't a good team if you haven't caught that. And Tua has some reasons as to why the Dolphins, they might be reeling as of late. So let's take a listen to Tua here and let's see if he's a nozzle.
I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys. And then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
To be clear, you're saying some players were late or missed?
Late, yeah.
So he calls out leadership there, but guys, isn't Tua leadership himself as the quarterback of the Dolphins.
If you want to articulate anything, how about articulating the start time of the meeting? If guys are late for the meeting, how about just make sure everybody knows what time the meeting starts?
Yeah.
Start there.
I think Tua unwittingly did call himself out a little bit. Because if it's about leadership, you are a leader. I don't think he meant to call himself out about it. I'm sure in Tua's mind he's doing everything right. But Bart talked about this a little bit yesterday. Like, you don't know what that was. Like, players-only meetings. Are you having several players-only meetings, or is this watching tape as a group? What is this exactly? Because that can be a more casual situation. Look, here's what we do know. The Dolphins are a complete disaster. And I'm surprised that McDaniel was not the first one fired, as opposed to Brian Callahan the other day. But apparently Stephen Ross likes McDaniel too much and is holding out on that.
And that's a house cleaning that both need to go in Miami.
Yes, agreed.
Because there have been a lot of missteps from the general manager as well. And I'm like you. I talked about it all offseason. I said he's not even going to make it through the year, and he probably won't still. And it's just going from bad to worse. I mean, what else can you say?
No, Chris Greer's got to go too. Is that nozzly from Tua? Yeah, listen, the last time I checked, Tua's not exactly a perennial Pro Bowler. I don't think he's that good.
Remember the conversation, was it the other day when John was in here about Tua? Is that what we were having?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was suggesting that Tua could be the Jets' next quarterback. I think we told him to leave.
Yeah. Make sure the door closes.
Yeah.
Please.
And he's in charge of us.
But it's like, real Tua? Like, imagine watching the Jets and watching the NFL and thinking Tua's the answer. Or Tua wouldn't be a bad option. No. That's not the answer.
Pass. Nozzle, yes. Next.
All right, so now we get to talk about Chris Carlin's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no, I'm not going to be asking whether or not Aaron Rodgers is the nozzle in anything that's happened this week. Rather, I'm going to ask you guys about Mike Tomlin, because the Bengals and the Browns, they made a trade for a quarterback, and that guy's name is Joe Flacco. Hooray! They made a trade. It was interdivision, and Mike Tomlin had some thoughts about that.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Calling out people by name, I love it.
Yeah, I actually, listen, I've been a little bit more toward the Tomlin, maybe the time's running out thing, but they're 4-1. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. Like, why would you trade a starting quarterback for you at the beginning of the year to a team in the division that is hurting in that particular situation, and you could actually help them? I don't know why you would do that.
I think it's a little gamesmanship-y thing more than anything, but he's allowed because he just got done beating the team with their rookie quarterback, who clearly did not prove much of a resistance against Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Yeah.
That was an ugly game, by the way.
By the way, just to be clear, he was calling Andrew Berry stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After he just beat him.
Yes. I beat you, and you're stupid.
Yeah.
Great job. Next. Do we have one more or not?
Yeah, I got one more, although I already think I know where your answer is going to be on this one. And this has to do...
No nozzle, by the way. No nozzle for Tom.
Yeah, good for him. So, there's some reports last week.
Again, there's so much apathy between the two of you now. Now it's Tom. Yeah, good for him. Shut up, Chunky. I got to get this over with.
You know what it's like? I'm gonna explain it to you. Okay? Imagine that I was just dropped dead square in the middle of Tokyo. Okay? And I stumbled upon a group of individuals and they asked me to play in their game. I don't understand the language. I don't know what the rules are, but I'm just going along with it to be a happy, fun-loving guy. So I sit there, and when they talk and they communicate, I give the smile it's not that it's apathy. It's just
it doesn't turn out to be like that Japanese game show skit with Chris Farley where he ends up getting his arm chopped off.
No, and thank God, or else I wouldn't have been a willing participant. Because
have you played this before?
Opinion,
we're going to take your left testicle.
I am a willing participant. There's no apathy.
Next.
None.
Go ahead.
So again, I already think I know where your answer is going to fall on this one, but there were some reports about a certain coach in college quitting in the middle of his first season. And yeah, Chris, I can already see it on your face. I think you already know who I'm talking about. That's Bill Belichick. Here's what he had to say about that.
Am I looking for a buyout and trying to leave here and all that? It's categorically false. There's zero truth to any of that. Glad I'm here. We're working towards, our goals and the process.
Great, thanks, Bill.
By the way, that's apathy. That is apathy with a capital A. Not yo. He.
For allowing us to even have this discussion at the middle point of UNC season, is Belichick the nozzle?
Yes. Yes. Here's a better question for right now. If I were to put odds on it, what do you think the odds are that Belichick this time next year, let's just say October 15th, 2026, is the coach at North Carolina? What are the odds on that if you were...
That he's the coach October 15th?
That he is still the coach, North Carolina.
I don't think he's the coach August 15th, 2026, or July 15th, 2026.
Neither do I, but what I'm saying is, like, if he's saying all these kinds of things, like, I'm not going anywhere, and this is what we're doing, and...
You and I have watched, I think I could speak freely, a lot of bad Saturday football over the years. I mean, like, a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I was a student ticket holder during the 2011 and 97 disaster, okay, and went to those games. When they played Clemson a couple of weeks ago and you had a home game and you had the students in a mass exodus, like somebody yelled rat in the second quarter, like the place cleared out, as if like take shelter because there's lightning in the area. That to me is like all you needed to know if you're the administration, like, yeah, maybe we should cut ties ASAP.
Yeah.
Right?
I would put it at probably somewhere between 10 to 15 to 1 that he would still be the coach. In other words, like, bet $100 I could win $1,000 if he's still the coach next year. I think it's that strong a chance that he's not going to be.
Weren't they already discussing buyouts and stuff, right? Like, according to the reports last
According
week?
to reports they have, and he's saying none of it's true.
You don't discuss buyouts if you want this to be like a long-lasting, happy relationship,
No,
right?
I agree.
You talk extension, not buyout.
No, this is
buyout
not
is a
going
divorce.
well. It's been infinitely worse than they ever would have imagined. The president wasn't actually the person that hired him. It's a mess. It's a complete mess all the way around, and he's not going to be the guy. I'm always looking for a flyer.
What do you think Bubba really thinks about the whole situation? The AD, Bubba Cunningham.
He got. I think they went around him too. I think this was a booster.
This was a booster.
Yeah.
This was a Michael Jordan situation. You know,
how does a booster have that much power where they just hire the coach themselves? You have to have given up at least $50 million in your life, right?
Yeah,
at least.
I mean, look at how NIL rules sports now, especially college football. So why wouldn't the boosters? You know what I mean? That's how you're getting money. That's how you're being sustainable.
It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. We continue through on the phones at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Let's do it. What that is, I don't know. Next.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Rich Eisen here for Sonos, the speakers that bring every game to life in my own house. With studio quality sound, Sonos makes you feel like you're right there in the stadium. Whether you're cheering on your team, binging your favorite show, or listening to the hottest songs, Sonos fills every room with incredible sound. Setup is easy. Just plug in, open the Sonos app, and you're ready to go. Want stadium quality sound at home just like me? Because I love Sonos. You will too. Explore soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Sonos. They look as good as they sound.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Visit FanDuel.com/Peter to download the FanDuel app today and get started. 21 and over in Fisley, Present, New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Honey, this is it. Shot clock winding down. Trailing by 2.
When you can't miss the last shot, and neither can he, don't take slow for an answer.
Pastrello shoots. Didn't see it coming.
Switch to Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at just $40 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today.
What went through your head on the last shot?
It all happened so fast. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Bart Carlin, 800-919-3776. Last couple of minutes until Michael K. coming up at 1 o'clock. Dan Graca in for Bart. Bobby and Belmore is next on ESPN New York. Bobby, what's going on?
Nelly Yamamoto, 5 runs in 40 innings, $60 million. Fry Rodin, 16 runs in 17 innings, $55 million. I wonder who got the better of those signings. I was worried about Fried. I know he pitched well against Boston. The 3 prior years, he did not pitch well in the playoffs after that World Series clincher in 2021. So that's what I have to say about that. Now let me get to Aaron Glenn. I'm sorry for you to repeat yourself, but when I mentioned the 53, he didn't do his math correctly. I lost my radio signal. Could you tell me what your response was? That he couldn't figure out that he had a 53-yarder and his field goal kicker made a 58-yarder 2 weeks prior. Why would he say that?
It was like was like a collection of words, like randomly just like thrown out into the universe, and you were supposed to like put them in a blender, digest them, and take them all in as one, and expect to produce a cogent response. And I am not that skilled of a human being to be able to do such a thing. I'm just not.
I think
I'm not.
I just had a stroke.
You okay?
I think. At least that's what I imagine it feels like. Because, like, wasn't there a guy one time, and I know this was like a Seinfeld bit, but I think this was actually built off reality, that there was a person that had a seizure every time they heard Mary Hart's voice.
Yes, and then Kramer had it.
Yes, but there was, like, that was happened. A real-life thing.
That happened.
Yeah. That's what that felt like right there.
Mary Hart still goes to every Dodger game. Sits
Really?
Right behind the plate. Yep.
Really?
Right behind the plate.
I didn't realize she was still sitting behind the plate.
Yep. Every freaking game, no matter who it's against, every day.
I can't remember the last time I watched Entertainment Tonight.
Oh, she's long gone.
I know she's long gone.
All right, let's play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Hart, age.
I'm going to say Mary Hart. Has Mary Hart turned 70 yet?
That is the question that I posed to you. Over, under 70.
Over. I say Mary Hart's 72 years old.
You're right on the over 70. But going with 72, well, she might have to get carded. She's 74.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I used to watch Entertainment Tonight a lot more. John Tesh.
John Tesh back at it with a big way with the round ball rock. It's back.
You know what I can't get out of my head again? Stupid SNL skit with Tim Robinson and Jason Sudeikis.
That was funny.
Basketball. I can't get that out of my head now.
That was a good one.
It was amazing. It was so good.
So, I don't know what that call was about, to be honest with you. That was almost like he was rehearsing the things he was going to say when he got on the air, and then he got on the air, and it's like he didn't know he was on the air, maybe. Like, that's the only thing I can get from it.
That's a fair point. I had no idea what he was trying to say, Bobby, with the whole pitching math thing. I don't know where he was coming at.
And then he was with the field goals, and I don't know.
That was an all-timer.
By the way, Boone Cashman going to meet the media tomorrow. High noon, I believe.
Yeah, Anthony Volpe got his surgery on the shoulder and expected to be ready for spring training or for the season. Tom, was it spring training or for the season?
Oh, with the shoulder thing, so typical recovery says he'll be ready for the season.
Okay.
But it's all going to depend on how that shoulder heals up.
Okay. So Boone and Cashman tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to get from that.
Well, you're going to get that they're both coming back if they're both doing a press conference. That's what
they're talking about, like, who else they already got rid of a couple of their coaches. So, like, they're already back. We know that.
Louis Rojas interviewed for the Orioles manager job.
Let's go, Louis.
Louis R.
I really feel like we left it all out there today.
Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? A little bit of everything.
Michael K. is next. Bart and Carlin, thanks to Graca, in for Bart on ESPN New York.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because